time I hear that theme song ring, it makes me wanna sing that catchy thing. It goes la 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 la.
Be allowed. Will be allowed.
Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a freaking predator right there. You think he's smarter than you? You think he's better than you? He's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New Order. Because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Pac-Man. I was telling my children not to be. It's Pac-Man. Man's a loser. Smarter than you. He's better than you. He's gonna beat you. The evil's growing. It's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door. Prepare to meet your destiny. Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, he's gonna beat you.
Uh-oh. Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes.
Uh-oh. I love mangoes too.
9 cents. Okay. Now that we are up under a Biden's regime, my bag of mangoes now costs $11.99.
That seems like a pretty good deal. A bag of mangoes? Aren't mangoes like $3 each? That's it. I want what, $8 or $11. That sounds good.
The American people alive. And highway robbery is what you're doing. Bring my mangoes back down. My bag of mangoes. My bag of mangoes.
Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes. Bring my mangoes back down. Raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Bring my mangoes back down.
The Wisconsin crowd identified with the mangoes.
Disproportionately affected the American people. Those who won't need to be healthy. Those who won't need to be healthy. It's highway robbery is what you're doing. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit.
Mangoes?
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged. With documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet. Is this the explanation? Is this the explanation?
Big massive dumps. Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
Elements of bathrooms.
and showers.
Big massive dumps.
Duty.
Elements of bathrooms.
Duty. 15 times. Not me,
Elements of bathrooms.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Elements of bathrooms.
Well, welcome everybody. It is incredible to be together again for yet another Trump rally, as we are now really getting down to the wire in a number of different senses, including the 22 midterm election, which is now just, it must be about 6 weeks and a few days away. This particular rally is in Wilmington, North Carolina. It starts in mere minutes, scheduled for 24 minutes from now, and we have a packed 24 minutes for you between now and then, because I have so many different things to look for you. Let's see what else and where we want to start. I did play the new song. Maybe I will say just a little bit about it. This is a really, really great piece. Whoops, no, that's for later. This one is by our friend Independent NN. Oh God, we already have trolls here. Dear God. All right, the moderators are going to take care of everything. This is a new. We had audio from one of our viewers, and then I said, well, put together some video. And they did. They mapped my face onto different people. Let's take a quick look at it. It's only a minute long. It's a very, very nice production. And this is even the melody is our theme song modified.
There's a story that I know that I heard from the David Packman show.
Love it.
He brought some things to light, things that did seem out of sight. Now I take it where I go, whether it be to and fro. Every time I hear that theme song ring, it makes me wanna sing that catchy thing. It goes la 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 la.
I love it. Anyway, you get it. So really, really nicely done, and super appreciative of everybody who did the audio elements and the video elements to that. I think it's going to be absolutely a fantastic and beautiful thing. All right, let's look at a couple other things here. This video was sent to me. Actually, this one was sent to me by producer Pat. Apparently, Dave Rubin cried with laughter in this video. So this must be, I'm sure we will all think, one of the funniest things ever, right? I mean, if it made Dave Rubin cry of laughter, it must be super funny. Let's take a look.
To do my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty of it. That's why I fucking...
We got Greenwald.
But that's why I love
Lefty,
it. Because Chris could give me the deal that he gave me, and then I could be like, yo, buddy, I'm fucking the biggest Biden supporter in the world. I'm going to rep the shit. He wouldn't give a fuck. It's not about politics.
No.
It's about content, entertainment. Like, YouTube is content, entertainment. It's for the people. It's like, why do we need to get in this adult politics shit? Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, my fans don't give a fuck about. I'm speaking for my fans, but I truly believe that my fans that are 16 to 30 years old don't truly give a fuck that much about politics like that. And they're basing it. It sucks that you have to base the entire world and every tech company around politics. You know,
Not anymore, man.
not anymore. But I just hope that it stays. That Rumble stays the thing, because you know it's a fucking war out there.
Yeah.
You know, like Rumble could get like, I don't know.
No, we can't get deleted.
No,
we got.
No, it's a war. So like for you guys to even go public and do all this, it's like you guys are like kind of winning that war. It's like it's crazy.
The insurgency is here.
Yeah, so I hope. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be partnered with you.
I'm glad to be on it. I'm glad to make videos. All I like to do
Go get
is
yourself
make
some
videos.
champagne, man.
I'm gonna get champagne, but if you guys watching, I'm gonna make videos in like 2 to 4 weeks from now, and it's like I love making videos. I love changing lives. I'm gonna
So far, it's not funny, but I'm sure it gets to the funny part in a moment.
say this right now. No disrespect to YouTube, but fuck you, YouTube. No disrespect, but like you banned me for a website that you allow on your platform. Like, if you're gonna ban me for a website on my second channel that gets 100K, like at least not allow it on your platform, you fucking communist fuckers. Like ban me because I did something wrong. Don't ban me for a fucking
Pretty electric stuff, huh?
.com on my second channel that gets 100K views for a website that you fucking allow. You allow this website. We'll just say it. All right.
You're gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right, but it just pisses me off. And you know, new opportunity, and YouTube, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. I have real fans. YouTube, you don't have real fans. You're a bunch of commie bastards. Fuck you.
When does the funny part start?
I'm so sorry. Is this live? But you know what the beauty about Rumble is? You can make mistakes.
I like that you're getting closer to the camera. It's like really,
But the thing is, you guys banned me for a website that you allow on your platform. Like, let's let that sink in. Can we let that sink in?
I hear you, man. They've been hitting me for a long time.
But imagine, like, all right,
I'm not keeping Rolexes out.
We'll say it for what it is, okay? Hey, my name's YouTube. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, now we're getting to the funny part, guys. Okay, everybody get ready. Now is the funny part.
You can, there's this website called stake.com. You can play it on our platform. You can show you playing it. You can say, hey, verbally, hey, I'm on Stake. It's the best gambling website ever. You can say that. But if you have that .com, that is fucking bad.
Yeah.
You are promoting a bad website.
Yeah.
You are a scumbag piece of shit. If they see that .com, you know,
There's only a minute left. When is the funny part?
you're going to get people to gamble. But you know what the thing is? You gamble on that website. Tell them that you're playing on that website. Say where you're playing. Show them that you're playing. But if you show that .com, because all these guys are idiots, they don't know how to get to that website unless there's the .com. They just think steak. Like they're gonna think like ribeye.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm dealing with. It makes no sense. So I love you guys.
Look at the title. Steve Will Dolt makes Ruben cry with laughter with his epic YouTube rant. Is this the rant or is that about a different video?
Guys, I'm probably getting calls from my business partner saying, hey, you need to chill the fuck out. But I love you guys so much. Big videos coming. Steve will do videos going live. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I can't tell. There's a screen. Okay, this is the camera. Okay, I love you guys. Steve will do a sign out once a week.
Oh, Steve will do it. It looked like a lowercase L. I thought it was Steve will dolt.
Steve, that was definitely the most colorful thing that has ever happened at NASDAQ, and I think indicative of what's going on over here at Rumble. The whole
All right. Well, I guess it wasn't that funny.
point is,
Man, that was really weird. Okay, so there was that. I apologize actually for showing that to everybody. That was pretty whacked. Let's look at a couple other things. Our friend Jason Selvig from The Good Liars recently got within proximity of Don Jr.'s fiancée, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and did the best is yet to come scream next to her. This is I like this.
The best is yet to come!
Okay, I wish we could have seen what happened after. But I guess that's all we got. So I like that. That's pretty good. A bunch of you sent me this video clip. This is really interesting. This is Jared Kushner on Fox News criticizing Ron DeSantis's Martha's Vineyard stunt. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what this is actually about, okay? Oh, then there's super chats. We're going to get to those in a moment. It's not that Jared Kushner is against the Martha's Vineyard stunt on principle. It's that the campaign against DeSantis is starting. So Kushner has to start hitting DeSantis for different things, and this is one of them. So check this out.
We have to remember these are human beings, they're people, so seeing them being used as political pawns one way or the other is very troubling to me.
Yeah, so empathetic, right? So morally upstanding. Guys, all he cares about is this is an opportunity to criticize Ron DeSantis because Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump may be facing off. That's all that this is about. All right, so we got that. And then I tweeted this one earlier. A mom at the Republican Commitment to America agenda rollout said that anti-bullying is an example of Marxism. Let that sink in.
There are many other public education issues concerning parents like myself.
Yeah.
The slow creep of critical race theory, diversity, equity, and inclusion, gender identity, and allowing biological boys to enter girls' spaces and sports.
Right.
Now we have SEL, which is social emotional learning.
Oh, I thought you said SEO, search engine optimization.
It's indoctrination disguised as programs like kindness initiatives or anti-bullying programs or
Very dangerous anti-bullying.
diversity projects. These are all Marxist-style programs.
Yeah, really, really Marxist. Very, very much so.
Targeting our children.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot right there. It's Marxism. Okay, let me now re-welcome everybody. I do want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just 15 minutes away from the start of tonight's Trump rally. We are awaiting the failed former president Donald Trump in Wilmington, North Carolina. This is, in theory, a rally to support other people who are on the ballot in November. But usually it's all about Trump. And if any of you saw some of our video clips this week, you saw Donald Trump very, very scared, visibly scared, particularly in that weird interview with Fox News propagandist Sean Hannity. And so we will see what happens when Trump shows up today. I'm going to give you some video clips from the rally in a moment. Some of the attendees and different things. We'll see if Mike Pillow is there, and we're going to look at all of it super, super strongly. If you're just, if this is your first time joining a live stream, everyone is welcome. You will be banned if you troll the live chat with anything that is you know, not fostering a good community. So anti-Semitism will get you banned, transphobia, racism, xenophobia, all these things will get you banned. Everyone's welcome to watch, but you've got to behave in the chat. And that applies on YouTube, that applies on Twitch, and that applies on Facebooks as well. All of it applies and exists. Pappy asks, do you think Joe Manchin would let the government shut down if he doesn't get his side deal pipeline in a stopgap funding bill? No. I don't believe he would, Pappy. Other super chats, and I know I missed a few. Thankfully, our dear leader Trump has the biggest, most beautiful brain and preemptively telepathically declassified the documents planted by the FBI. Yeah, you know, if Trump can declassify documents telepathically, as he so claimed the other day, can Biden classify documents telepathically? I mean, it seems only natural that that's something that could be done. Okay, let me say some thank yous. I want to say thanks to Johnny Minogue and Kevin Gouldy for gifting subscriptions on my website, joinpacman.com, putting us at 2. Very much appreciate that. I want to thank people who have been signing up via Twitch, including Do You Grok, John, Trisha, Rar Bear, Andrew Mays, Thug Chuckles, R. Thader, Pink and Blonde, Tooge, Bowflex Man, Guitar Goddess, Symbolistic, Punk on a Bike, Chi-Town Dude, and Ms. Frazzled, putting us at 13. The goal is 100, and I think we're going to be able to do that tonight. Okay, so I appreciate everybody who has been calling in. Let's now dump in one voicemail just for flavor, and then we're going to move on to other things.
So I noticed that the place with a really good amount of Jewish people and who didn't really have any bloods in Italy were the ones who attacked Greece during the Holocaust.
Oh boy.
I noticed that it seemed like over in Italy there was some sort of a really slow invasion of Irish people.
And we're going to get away from that. I think I've roughly had enough of that. And we are going to be, moving on. Okay, let's look at a couple other things we have here. We are monitoring events on the ground in Wilmington, North Carolina. Let's see what we have. I have a lot of different things here, only some of them relevant to us today. Let me get to the relevant ones for us. Oh, earlier at the rally, when Joe Biden's name was mentioned, the crowd chanted, "Lock him up." These people claim to be about law and order, but locking up a guy not even suspected of a crime is not exactly due process.
And he wants to hire 87,000 more IRS agents to treat all of these working families like tax cheats. Come on, folks. Look.
Pretty clever, huh? The party of law and order says lock up a guy who is trying to catch tax cheats. Now, by the way, very important, the entire 87,000 IRS agents thing, 55,000 IRS agents are expected to retire over the next decade. And part of the 87,000 is just to replace the 55,000 over the next decade. It doesn't sound quite as scary when you put it in those terms. It doesn't sound quite as scary when you put it in those terms. But why let the truth get in the way of a good scare tactic? James says, sir, I'm coming to you with tears in my eyes to ask, is it possible Obama declassified Hillary's emails with his brain and never told anyone? Sure, Obama might have telepathically done it. Are you taking calls, David? No. David, can we get a dose of Trump's mispronunciations and ramblings? Let's see what I have here for us. My Trump file. Where are some of my mispronunciations?
No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender. Vive, Kamunand, Suchin, Tendolkar.
Yeah. I'm actually, my soundboard is completely messed up. Where is my soundboard? Hold on. Audio, Trump. Where is all my stuff?
Mexico and I don't care what they name it. Name it Peaches.
Peaches, yeah. These are all messed up.
They call them dumps.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to reorganize my soundboard soon. I'm sorry I can't do any better than that today. Thanks to Adam Cortez for signing up at joinpacman.com. Folks, today's coupon code is INDICT. You know why it's INDICT. It's because it's time to indict. We all know that. Okay, the coupon code is INDICT. I would love for you to use it. Let's look at a few more things here from on the ground in Wilmington, North Carolina. Let's see what else we have. Oh, this is funny. Listen to this level of delusion.
President Trump might be the first president that actually delivered on every single one of his promises.
Now, that's actually funny. The wall didn't get built. The beautiful replacement to Obamacare was never even proposed, never mind made law. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict was not solved. I mean, how long can I really do this? I'm not going to do this the entire stream. But okay, so that's a claim that was made, which was very, very wrong. I guess Sandy Smith went Guilfoyle.
It is time to seal the southern border!
Okay.
My name is Sandy Smith, and I'm your American patriot, and together we are going to get our country back on the right track. I need your help. I need your vote, and I need you to sign up to help. Go to sandysmithnc.com, and together we're going to win this. It is time.
Okay, well, good for her. Let's see. I'm going to skip the Herschel Walker stuff for now. What is Rosh Hashanah?
Now you got to see this. What's going to happen? The Feast of Trumpets begins with Rosh Hashanah. That's why in Idaho, it's going to be a shift. Your shout is going to shift America into winning elections that they thought they could steal. Y'all not hearing me. They're trying to...
I'm Jewish. I would not listen to this guy about Rosh Hashanah. Okay, let's not do that. Let's skip that because I don't even want to delve into that. That just seems very, very bad. Very bad. Let's see what else we have from the Trump rally here. Let's see. Newt Gingrich was asked about the J6 committee.
What do you think about the January 6th committee?
I don't.
You have no thoughts about the committee itself?
Top 3 issues that will drive voters.
I think you have a learning disability. The fact is, I've said to you 3 or 4 times, I don't talk about it. You don't seem to try the...
I think you have a learning disability. Okay, interesting. Interesting thing to say during an event. Huh? All right, I think we're going to get away from this stuff. Just one other really funny thing. J.R. Majewski, who was recently caught lying about his military service, is now saying there's no record of it because it's classified.
In fact, the orders and the military records that I've been able to obtain from my personal files shows that all of my deployments are listed as classified.
Very, very secret stuff, guys.
This was a strategic and strategically placed, to crush me and defame me with a fake hit piece. These
Even he can't give us the records because they're classified.
Enemies of the truth did not bother to publish that. The Air Force has explicitly stated there is no way for us to verify whether or not J.R. Majewski served in Afghanistan during his deployment time frame in Qatar. In fact, the order...
Does anybody, like, is it possible that that's true? I mean, just, I don't, you guys tell me. It's all being investigated, but you guys tell me, is that all, possible? It just doesn't ring true to me. It doesn't ring true to me. Yeah, I smell BS. But listen, eventually, I think the truth will come out. All right, let me say thank you to a few more people. Freak Igt, DJ White Rabbit, McKinley, and Lilika, as well as my STX, have just grabbed Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 19. I also want to say thank you to Courtney Becken, Courtney signing up at joinpacman.com, and Lisa Rader gifting a subscription at joinpacman.com. Appreciate that very much. Couple of different, hold on a second. Guys, you know what? I am going to ban this really annoying cool kid. It's just annoying me. Just go away. Okay, just watch somewhere else. I don't care. Okay, couple other updates. Number one, we are truly now in the home stretch on 1.5 million YouTube subscribers. Okay, this is really, really important stuff. As many of you may or may not know, we not that long ago hit the milestone of 1 million subscribers, and we are now pushing towards 1.5 million. This is where we stand right now, and I am looking very much forward to a day, hopefully in the near future, where I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we got them. Okay, that is my hope, and slowly but surely, those numbers are trickling up, and I think we're going to do it sooner than later. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic, just an absolutely fantastic thing. So that's going on. Secondly, the finance channel is live. There are now 4 video clips on it. This is by popular demand. This is completely by popular demand. People said, David, your background is actually in financial planning. What about the finance channel? And we have done it, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it. The channel has been launched. We are currently we're 3 days in and at 5,600 subscribers and climbing. So youtube.com/Pacman Finance. If you want to skip the politics, this is really the place to do it, where we are doing just personal finance. That's what it is. I don't give advice per se. It's really just context and a framework on a lot of different financial questions. It's going really well so far. Okay, so PacFi, PacFin, I don't know. We're still kind of trying to figure out what it is that we're going to call it, but all really, really exciting stuff, and glad to have people being a part of it, and a little bump there. So exciting stuff as we stand by here for Donald Trump at the Save America rally, just moments away, which is an incredible, incredible thing. All right, let's get to some super chats here. David, could Trump be going for a diminished responsibility response? His recent comment on declassification via telepathy suggests early stages, I just tripped on a cable, of mental illness. Yeah, I honestly have no idea what Trump meant by that. And also, when Trump said he thinks that the FBI was actually looking for Hillary's emails at Mar-a-Lago, it doesn't suggest someone who is cognitively stable. That's for damn sure. I don't know what to make of it. Starlink will soon bathe Iran in waves of unrestricted internet freedom, per Secretary Blinken and Elon Musk. Interesting, Joe. We will look into that. Sir, with tears in my eyes, I ask, couldn't we build a special one-man prison for a convicted ex-president? Does he have to get off scot-free? Listen, if Trump were to be convicted and be sentenced to prison time, he would almost certainly serve it at home with home confinement. That's the bottom line. As an Air Force veteran in Intel, we don't serve in Afghanistan. We support units from Qatar. He's not telling the truth. Our deployments are not classified. Interesting, Haley. Very, very interesting. Lewis says there could be a record of his deployment, but not what he did if it was classified. That was the usual stolen valor defense BS. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Yeah, see, this is why it's so good to have people in the audience who are vets so that they can explain this stuff to me. That's very, very important. And it seems like a number of vets in the audience agree on that. Thank you to Celise Ballo for signing up at joinpacman.com. You were new member number 22 today. Also, thanks very much to Beth Graham. Whoa, my Windows updates popped up. Beth Graham, who is new member number 23 today as we stand by for Donald Trump. Let's listen to a little bit of what's happening here.
I will say this, Kamala Harris being in charge of the border has made...
Still can't pronounce it, huh?
One trip to El Paso, which is hardly where the crisis is going on. And you want to guess how many visits President Biden has made to the border? You ready for this? 0. That's 0 as a senator, 0 as a vice president, and 0 ever. He has never been to our U.S.-Mexico border in terms of the immigration crisis that we have right now. He's never addressed the immigration crisis.
Does anybody know what the crisis is? Like, in other words, how is it different than what was going on under Trump? What's the crisis?
Coming in. So you got to think about it. How serious are they with fixing the immigration problem?
Oh, no, they're not. I don't think they've ever been serious about fixing the immigration problem.
By the way, this right side broadcasting anchor is also one of Donald Trump's lawyers. And I don't know that it's like a conflict per se. I mean, it's just right-wing nuttery in all jobs. But it's weird, I guess.
They're saying that.
Yeah.
These are the results they want.
This is what they want.
These are the results they're aiming for. So there's no... They're not even, at least in this regard, they're not even being dishonest about it. Carrie Jean-Pierre is when she says, oh, there's no problem at the border, or, oh, we're trying to fix it, but Republicans are in the way. She is dishonest. I also think she has no idea what she's talking about, and she's not in the know.
Let me talk. Go ahead.
Well, but the fact that Mayorkas is saying we're getting the results we're after.
That's what they're getting.
They're not.
All right, so total and complete delusion. Now on over on Newsmax, we have Peter Navarro as we await Trump. Let's listen to that.
Petroleum sector.
Yeah, they've sabotaged so many ways that this country was functioning in recent years have been sabotaged, all for a political agenda that I cannot figure out. I cannot figure out who thinks that this country is moving in any kind of a good direction. New study from the Heritage Foundation found the average American lost $4,200 in annual income since Biden took office. It's completely wiped out the wage gains, which were rather impressive under the Trump administration. Wage gains that I think Obama said would be impossible to see. Today, Biden said this with a straight face. Take a look.
Remember seeing all those food lines? People in nice-looking automobiles waiting for an hour and a half just to have a bucket of a box of food put in their trunk? In the United States of America. In the United States of America, that was happening.
You gotta be a special kind of dumb to believe something like that. I mean, that's just amazing to me. A spin job like that, Peter, blaming Trump for the repercussions of COVID lockdowns that he so harshly fought against.
Yes. Yeah. Look, this election, Rob, in November, we've got to take back Trump's America. Trump's America was one of prosperity, price.
Totally delusional, completely delusional. Super chat's coming in. Ace says, you know the cognitive test Trump talks so much about? They give you that test after a stroke. Yeah, I know. It's he thinks it's like an IQ test. It's bizarre. Enigmatic Engineer says, obviously Biden needs to send the entire military to the border, David. Of course he does. These people are delusional. These people are completely and totally delusional. I want to say thanks to Ole Shell for gifting a subscription at joinpacman.com, new member number 24 today. Also, thank you to Green Man, now subscribed 30 months on Twitch, resubscribes with the message, I passed the cognitive test. Absolutely, Green Man. Couldn't have said it better myself. And also, big thank you to Juan for the membership at joinpacman.com, gifted. Let's listen to a couple other voicemails. Okay, folks? Please, voicemails.
Hi, David. This is Steven calling in.
with Trump recently saying that he wants the death penalty for human traffickers,
yes,
many have argued that he basically just called for Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott to be put to death.
Yes.
Isn't it worth pointing out that Trump also claims that Ron stole his idea? Wouldn't that mean that if Trump was to have this law go through, he'd not only likely end up having his cake, but he'd be forced to eat it too? Thank you.
That part I don't know that I understand, but a very interesting voicemail nonetheless, which I like.
David, please explain to me, where do you think the David Pakman show would be in 2022 had there never been a Trump administration?
I think there would be no David Pakman show in 2022 were it not for Trump. In fact, I owe my life to Trump. Yeah, I think I would have nothing. There would be nothing. Let's see what else we've got here.
I was just wondering what the special master would do if he finds financial documents required by Letitia James.
I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, listen to this. This is wild.
Or prosecution, you're supposed to negotiate. We're talking about documents. We're talking about documents that actually are being watched over to a certain extent, and I would say to a large extent, by the Secret Service.
Trump's documents were stored in his home, guarded by Secret Service, and locked away. Now, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm definitely not a librarian. So I can't tell you every little step a president's technically supposed to take to move around his paperwork.
Technically.
But what I can tell you is what past presidents did and how they were treated. Let's start with President George H.W. Bush. His presidential records ended up in a strip mall, a store that used to house a bowling alley and a Chinese restaurant. Were bowling shoes commingled with top secret documents? I don't know. I'm not a national security expert, but if your storage room shares a parking lot with a Chili's and a JCPenney, is that secure? Who's to say?
Pretty good comedy, huh, guys? They'll say anything, it seems. It's really, really wild stuff. Wesley says telepathic declassification. Yeah, many in the audience finding it funny that Trump said during that interview he could think about a declassification and the document becomes declassified. Any thoughts on the Gates report of no criminal charges? No, I haven't seen any of that. Matt Gates, criminal charges? I don't know what happened. Prosecutors recommend against charging. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll read it for Monday. I'll cover that on the Monday show. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Very interesting. Like we've been saying all along, it may be going nowhere. Yeah, I'll look into that more and follow up Monday. Kahaley and Tesla driving vegan just got subscriptions via Twitch Prime, which I very much appreciate. And it's so great to be welcoming you here. Let's see what else we have as far as voicemails go.
David Pakman, your confidence for the Democrat Party in retaining the Senate is overestimated. Ben Shapiro is looking at these polls, and these polls don't look good for the Democrats. It does not look good. I predict.
All right, I don't even care what Troy York predicts. It's irrelevant. His predictions are completely irrelevant.
Dave, I'm sorry for commenting even before I listened to your segment, but Pillow hires Dershowitz. Oh my God. Look, we know Pillow is paying because Dershowitz would not do this if he wasn't getting paid. You know that, right? Now, if Dershowitz believes in the issue so much, why didn't he work for Trump? Why didn't this great lawyer who supported Trump so much, why didn't he work for Trump? Oh, yeah, because he wants to get paid. Shalom, brother.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Eggman. A very, very important interview that we played the other day of Dershowitz explaining what's going on.
So I'm just noticing that with Judaism, I noticed people really reeling in features of Jewish people.
Oh God. Whitney is really obsessed with Judaism lately. And just days before Rosh Hashanah, and a little week plus before Yom Kippur. It's sad. It's very, very sad. I have to tell you that the obsession is really not so good. Oh, where are we on 1.5 million? Will we make it by mid-October? Yeah, we talked about that already. This is where we are in the fight for 1.5 million subscribers. We are at 1.49286890. 1.4893. 897. Wow, something's happening here. Yeah, my goal was to make it to 1.5 before election day. Oh, are people angry about this? Oh, it looks like people are triggered. People are triggered that we're actually going to get to 1.5 million subscribers. Wow, YouTube, there's so many people. I stepped away from the YouTube chat for a moment. What do you care if I get to 1. Why are you so angry? Like, who cares? We might get to 1.5 million. How does it affect your life? Just go watch some right-winger if you don't like me. No, we're not going to ban them for that. We'll ban them if they say something anti-Semitic, but what is wrong with these people? Who cares? Guys, it's subscribers on YouTube. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I don't know what the estimate is. But I think it should be plausible to make it by November, okay? So that's what's going on, all right? And then Pacman Finance is, we're still working on our first 6,000 subscribers there. So everything's totally cool with that. Super chat's coming in. David, I just logged into your Twitch channel to participate in the chat, and I received an ads for Carl Jr.'s. Do you think they're better than Hardee's? I have no idea. I've never been to a Hardee's, and it's been 20 years since I've been to a Carl's Jr. So I'm the wrong person to ask. Levi says, Dems need to do something regarding the Supreme Court. Trump could appeal classification of Mar-a-Lago documents in executive privilege for January 6 witnesses. What stops an illegitimate court from shutting everything down? Nothing. We've been dealing with the problem of the Supreme Court for a long time. That there's no, we've been screaming about it for a very, very long time. Thank you to SLP Lawyer. SLP Lawyer is new member number 29 today on Twitch. Very much appreciate that. Also want to say thanks to Brandon Jordan, who is new member number 30 today. Let's go, Brandon. I appreciate that, the support there. Let me mention, and I will mention this once and only once, I would love for you to support the work we do. We have 14 streams scheduled between now and Election Day, at least, because of all the different debates and different things, okay? Grab a membership on my website. We have a coupon code. The code is INDICT. You can do monthly or yearly. I say do yearly because you save more. You type in the coupon code INDICT, and then incredible things happen, as you can see here. Now, if you want an even better coupon code, you can use the coupon code OBAMNA. And you'll see that it's even crazier. I won't even say this out loud because it's humiliating. And you can also do it on the monthly. And look at this, folks. It's just unbelievable. This genuinely does support the work we do. We've got a custom commercial-free audio and video stream for people who sign up. We do the daily bonus show, which is the best. And we also do members-only town halls and all sorts of different things. So I would love for you to sign up on my website. We are expecting Trump momentarily. It's going to be an absolute, complete, total mess that I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what is upcoming here. But it's going to be bonkers.
I've not seen them yet.
All right, we're still standing by there. Okay, other super chats coming in. Tom sends a super chat. Jim sends one. Allie says, "Sir, what do you think our chances are of seeing the Trump clan in handcuffs?" Very low. Very, very low. If Trump truly declassified everything, couldn't the public make a FOIA request to get the documents? I don't know the answer to that. We should ask a lawyer about that. Whoa, I just hit my head on the mic. Graveborn just gifted 50 subscriptions on YouTube, putting us at 80. Wow. That is an incredible number. David, are solid gold toilets that flush appropriate for a conservative portfolio? Yes. Serious note, how do you feel about buying gold bullion? I am not big on physical gold. It's inconvenient to store. It can get stolen. And to be totally honest, I think in that bug out scenario where you need physical gold, I think we're screwed anyway. That's my view, but everybody has their, their own opinion. Zelgeth gifts 5 and Kevin Taylor gifts 5. That puts us at 90. Over on Twitch, I want to say thank you to Blueberry Babe for gifting 1 and putting us at 91. And thanks to Stage Presence for gifting a membership on my website, putting us at 92. Things happening very, very strongly here. And I think very soon Trump is going to be speaking. It seems obvious that that's the case. I do think he will be unhinged. I do think that he will be dangerous. I think both are almost certain to be realities during today's speech. Yeah. Do I have any other voicemails? Yeah, let's see. I've got one more here.
Hey, David, it's Tommy. If Trump can just think about documents and declassify them,
yeah,
can't Biden just reclassify them?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what we just said. It's the entire thing is absurd. I mean, telepathic declassification. It's ridiculous. Thanks to Ace for gifting 5 more. Wow, my Windows updates are really persistent today, putting us at 97. Thanks to Lakon the Great for signing up via Twitch, and S Prez gifting 69 subscriptions, putting us at 267. Guys, let's go for 200. Let's do it. Just a few minutes here until Trump speaks, and I'll try to thank as many people as possible. Thanks to Javier for getting a new membership on my website, Douglas Ness, Daniela Honku, Gabby Bryant, and a gift from Desiree DeLong that puts us at 172. Really appreciate that. Folks, the website is under pressure. The website is under pressure. Thanks to Just Swaggy and Zuzu Pebbles who gifted 5. That puts us at 178. A lot of anti-Semitism in the chat today. And I know that our moderators have banned dozens of people already, which is sad to me. It really is sad. 100 Savages says, hi, David Dark Pacman. Looking good, man. What's your position on Honeycrisp apples? Honeycrisp is fine, but it doesn't hold a candle to Granny Smith. Granny Smith, my one true love when it comes to apples. Still the best. Still the best. Thanks to Marcus Perekristenko for signing up on my website, and David Putterman putting us at 180. Thanks to Anthony Bolios and Harold Westley for signing up on my website. Wow, I'm going to just close that out. That's the Windows updates really want me to restart, and I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to do it right now because we're in the middle of a stream, and I would lose my connection to all of you if we were to do that. Last few moments here, we have... people are commenting about what's going on with my microphone.
Hey, Dave, it's Tommy. So that's twice now within a week that you've had physical altercations with your microphone.
Yeah.
I'm afraid Pillow's going to have no choice but to file a class action lawsuit against it.
I really have been struggling with the microphone lately. It's been a fight. Let's see what's happening.
Know that as engaged as he has been with everything he's doing with the rallies, this is just one more step for him to be even more engaged to try to help America First candidates save America.
Yeah. It's funny. They act like Trump actually helps the people he rallies for, but he barely talks about them. Like, he'll call them up for a minute, and if they don't just basically praise Trump, he looks visibly bored and kind of wants them off the stage. Oh, look at this. Yeah, people just pointed this out. Okay, so this is super interesting. So as you can see here, we are fighting our way to 1.5 million subscriptions on YouTube. you can actually get a projection on Social Blade of when we are expected to hit certain milestones. And I said I'd like to hit it by election day. Right now, Social Blade says if we can just keep going the way we're going, we will hit 1.5 million on November 1st. So that would achieve the goal of getting there before election day. But obviously, we can change that trajectory. We have control over this trajectory, but that's where we are right now. And the numbers beautifully inching up. I know I feel like we are going to get locked up. We're going to get locked up. I know we are. But the numbers are swelling like Trump's head and ego, I guess I should say. And pants, by the way. I don't know how many of you saw that recent thing. Yeah, so that's great. November 1st is the current estimate. And I think we could potentially even do it sooner. Okay, so that's where we are right now. More super chats coming in. Let's see where else we are here. Trump is playing Suspicious Minds by Elvis. Irony is dead. The songs Trump plays, most of the artists would be horrified that Trump is using their music. I heard Jimmy from Philly is a paid crisis actor. Is that true, David? I couldn't tell you. And yes, 50 gifted subscriptions there from Graveborn, which I really appreciate. Folks, the website is under extremely heavy technical load here. I don't know if it's going to be able to stay up because of the number of people signing up. Shelly Gerst is a new member. Cindy Cantagallo has just signed up. Jeffrey Wittig and Zach Parker. Thanks to Paul Edwards and Marcus Webster. Welcome to Eric Chenoweth and Jenny Bonwich. That is 8, putting us at 190, within striking distance of this next goal of 200, which we may be able to do before Trump speaks any moment. Welcome to Bionic Bill over on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Couple other voicemails. Here's one from Juan.
Hey, David. I've tried very hard to assimilate the content, considering the cobwebs in my mind, in my brain, and a series of other things. I'm still a little bit perturbed, sad, I guess you could say, that I still haven't been unbanned from YouTube.
Oh, no, we did unban you. We recently unbanned you, actually. I made sure of it. There was a glitch on YouTube that wouldn't allow us to unban anybody. It's kind of funny. Because of it, we literally, it's like every ban on YouTube has been a permaban because there was a glitch affecting our entire channel. We couldn't unban anyone on YouTube. It's been fixed and you've now been unbanned. So it's all set. All right, my friend. Thanks to Robert E630 for gifting 10 subscriptions. Thanks to Jen here and an anonymous gifter, each gifting one more. That's 12. And that puts us at 203. Folks, let's go for 250. Let's do it. Thanks to Audrey Howard as well as Eric Gorey for signing up on my website, putting us at 205. Super chats coming in. David, sometimes your political commentary is explained through knowledge, principles in psychology and sociology. Would you ever do a show with Dr. Todd Grand? I don't know who that is, so I can't commit to that offhand, but I'm glad to investigate and see what's up. Has anybody heard of Dr. Todd Grand? Let's see who that is. Dr. Todd Grand. Licensed professional counselor. Has a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. Seems interesting. I would look at doing something with Dr. Todd Grand, sure. In fact, I'll make a note right now to have our team reach out on Monday. Dr. Todd Grand. That seems interesting. I appreciate the suggestion. Thank you. Always glad to get suggestions from people. Very exciting. Chris Sutton says, truth, truth, truth. Well, if you're hoping for truth, I don't think you're going to get a lot of it tonight. Let's see what they're chatting about here as we are moments away from Donald Trump.
Its impact on the state. North Carolina was thriving under President Trump, and now under Joe Biden, they're hurting. It looks like what's going on? Who's coming out?
Okay,
Oh,
we've
wait,
got
this is,
Lieutenant
Mark Robinson,
Yeah.
the lieutenant governor here in North Carolina, who I think he got the biggest cheers and the biggest ovation from the crowd.
I really enjoyed his speech today as well. It was touching.
Yeah.
And I've heard him speak a number of times, but I think
super, super exciting. Okay, this is a fair question. What am I willing to do to celebrate when we hit the 1.5 million? As I've said before, I'm willing to consider anything. No one's really presented good ideas. It's like for some reason, it always comes up. Oh, 1.493. Beautiful. Someone always suggests, would I dye my hair? I mean, I guess, the thing about it is we're going to get to the 1.5 eventually. It's a more interesting question of like, what would I do if we made it by October 1st, right? Because that's a stretch goal. What would I do if we made it by October 1st? That's more interesting to me because it looks like it's going to take us till November. And people, it's like, I'm not getting a face tattoo, guys. I'm not getting a face tattoo. I get a fake one, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know why hair stuff is like the most interesting thing. I'm not piercing a nipple. No. Would I dye my hair orange? Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, is that even interesting? Would it be interesting for me to dye my hair orange if we make it by October 1st? It doesn't seem that interesting. I don't know. It's more like there's a lack of reasonable ideas, I guess. Would I get a spray tan to look like Trump? That could be damn funny. If we make it by October 1st, would I get a spray tan orange? I might be willing to do that. Is that even interesting? People think that would be interesting. Yeah, maybe. I would consider I'd get a spray tan like this guy, I guess. I would consider. I mean, if it's funny, I don't know. I don't want to do something that people won't find funny. So I'm willing to look at that. Olivia Drobny just signed up on my website and is new member number 206 today. Other super chats coming in. Leave your sub bar up. Let people get pissed. Oh, why? Do people get mad when I wait, where was that? People get mad when I show this just because it's on the screen? That seems like a weird thing to get mad about. Look at that. Look at it trickle up. It's a beautiful thing. This is happening in real time, guys. People are getting mad. Okay, well, we'll take it off then. I don't want to piss people off. S. Prez with an incredible, oh, wow. S. Prez is not just only an incredibly appreciated contributor to the show between beautiful super chats. S. Prez, some people don't know this, has gifted over 1,500 subscriptions on Twitch. S. Prez could be a good producer as well, suggesting that I actually fast on Yom Kippur if I get to 1.5 million by Yom Kippur. Okay, let's see. Yom Kippur date 2022, October 4. I think I would be willing to do that. That actually sounds interesting. If we got to I never fast on Yom Kippur. I should hire S. Prez to do some production because that's actually pretty good. If we get to the 1.5 million by Yom Kippur, which is October 4th, I will actually fast, which I have never done on Yom Kippur before. That sounds good. It's one of people asking, what is Yom Kippur? It's a Jewish high holiday. We have New Year's coming up Sunday, Monday, and then a week after that. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I really want it. I think what's good about it is it's related to me. Like me randomly getting a spray tan has no relevance to me. And also, it's like I don't want to do it. So I think that's a really interesting idea. I will commit to that. I will fast on Yom Kippur if we get to 1.5 million on YouTube by October 4th. Now, here's the rule, guys. It has to be October 4th at midnight. At midnight. I need a plan for that because it can't be that if we get to it by 2 p.m. on October 4th, then I've already missed the fast, okay? So that means at the end of October 3rd, midnight, October 4th, if we're at 1.5, I will fast. I will do my Yom Kippur fast, and then we will see. Interestingly enough, nobody really seems to care about it. Like the subscriptions have not accelerated at all on that basis. It seems nobody else really cares about it, which is, oh, would I be willing to order and sleep with a My Pillow? I would consider that. I would consider that as well. If we get it by, hold on a second. If we get it by October 1st, will I buy a My Pillow? I guess. I mean, that doesn't seem quite as funny. Okay, other super chats. David, sir, two almost equally scary scenarios I can see from outside the U.S. One, Trump finally goes down and sets his cult on the U.S. to take revenge. Oh, yeah, there will. If Trump gets indicted, there will be violence by his supporters. It is not even a question, guys. Not even a question. Two, he gets off again, runs and wins, and democracy is dead. Yeah, that's a scary scenario, too. S. Prez with another $100 super chat. I'll have my people call your people. Perfect. Perfect. Let's do it. When you hit 1.5 million, I'd love to see you debate a MAGA Republican on a live stream. Well, listen, every time I take live calls, MAGA Republicans are welcome to call in. And also, I interview MAGA Republican candidates all the time. And I disagree with them all the time. Do an entire show pretending to be Alex Jones if I get there by October 1st. I don't think my voice could take it. Here is just 20 seconds of me doing an Alex Jones impression. I would need like a month off to recover my voice.
Globalist, internationalist, Trotskyite socialists, unlike Obama, Trudeau, Macron, and the rest of these Zio beasts.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. That I think I would, it would just be really, 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 really bad for my voice. Thanks to Rack Attack and Iconic Song for the 2 Twitch Prime subscriptions. Look at how we are at 208 out of 250. Also, thanks to David Levin for gifting a membership on my website. If you're just joining us, Donald Trump is already half an hour late, meaning he's probably coming out any second. I have one favor and one favor only to ask you.
No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender.
No. That's not the favor. That's stupid and extraordinarily transphobic. That's not the favor. The favor is I would love it if you went to my website and just got a membership. That's it. I'll announce your name and pronounce it as accurately as I can. And we have a coupon code INDICT, which saves you like 60%. Okay. Would I go skydiving when we get to 1.5 million? No. You know what? Skydiving is far more dangerous than people might assume. And I want to live. It's just, that's just a no. I'm not going skydiving at 1.5 million. Not happening. Not happening. Just sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm not going to do it. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Break your fast at a Hardee's drive-thru. That I will not do. That I will not do. Turbo, has anyone asked you how it is Trump's lawyer is interviewing people at this rally? No, but I brought it up. The woman in the white hoodie is not only an anchor on Right Side Broadcasting, she also is one of Trump's lawyers. Now, is this a better view? No, this is not. She's also one of Trump's lawyers. And it seems wildly inappropriate that she even be doing this job. Both jobs, actually. But I don't know that technically there's really any conflict of interest, as weird as it is. So she's allowed, I guess. Kiss a black cat if I get to 1.5 million. I don't know any black cats. If candidates or lawmakers can't get money from corporations, how do we populate government? Thanks for the unban. How do we populate government? Not sure I understand that one, Juan. Not sure about that. If you make it to 1.5 million before the end of the stream, would you pull a Reuben and sell out and go work for PragerU? Sure, guys, exactly. If we somehow make it to 1.5 million YouTube subscribers tonight, I'll call Dennis Prager and say, Dennis, I'm ready to come over to the dark side. Yeah, that's not a great idea. Wait a second. Dennis, I'm ready. The left left me, and so I'm ready to join you, because you are the only side that still sees the light. Okay. All right. Did I see him on TYT last night? I did see a little bit of Anna Kasparian interviewing Dennis Prager. I didn't find it super interesting, to be honest. Like, the whole first portion was Prager coming up with stupid excuses for, like, when Anna pointed out tons of leftists said they'd be glad to debate you. And he was like, well, not the really big media outlets. It's like, dude, come on. Tons of leftists said they would debate you, and you constantly claim they won't. I want to say thank you to Joanne Leidy, as well as Stephen Phillips and Sam Rosales, all signing up on my website, joinpacman.com. We have a goal of 250 new website members and Twitch subs today, and we're getting dangerously close. I want to say thank you to Nancy Mall for gifting 5 on Twitch, putting us at 217. Let's listen to what they're chatting about here.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
When historically tripling the voter turnout. So there's some interesting investigations taking place there. There's also information that a concerned voter group wrote to the Wisconsin Election Commission specifically about that district prior to the election. The complaint is dated from July of 2020, before the midterm election, saying you have about 4,600 illegal voters on your voter roll for this.
None of that is true, unfortunately, guys. Will I do the one chip challenge when we get to 1.5 million? No. And again, remember, guys, we're going to get there. The question is, what would I do if we get there sooner? I'm not interested in super spicy stuff. So no, I'm not doing the one chip challenge. This super chat asks, will the USA use its Latin American puppet Colombia to destabilize South America and enforce green imperialism on Brazil and Venezuela? No, I don't believe that that's going to happen. How late is Trump? 38 minutes late. What are they filling time talking about? We just listened to a little bit. I've been subscribed a long time. Wish I could subscribe again. Well, I appreciate that. Do a live remote from a Trump rally at 1.5 million. I don't know that would be safe. I don't know if that would really be a safe thing to do. Thanks to Mildred Mitchell. No, I'm kidding. By the way, I'm completely kidding. It just is not interesting to me. Mildred Mitchell just signed up on my website. Sam Kinter and Justin Chaser are the newest members on my website, putting us at 220. Also, thanks to Kind AF, who just re-upped a Twitch Prime subscription. Both Right Side Broadcasting and Newsmax are covering tonight's rally. Donald Trump is now 38 minutes late and expected any moment. And the super chats are just pouring in. Guys, do you want me to keep going with super chats, or do you want to listen to a voicemail or two? What do people want? I mean, we can do both. It's just more about the order. Super chats or voicemail? What do you think? Do it. Just check in on a voicemail. All right, let's see.
Hey, David, if you manage to get to 1.5 million subscribers on the main channel before November 1st, I will get an Obama neck tattoo. Yeah. Obama.
Okay, guys, we have just upped the ante. This caller says he will get Obama tattooed on his neck if we can move up the date on which we hit 1.5 million. Obama. That now is starting to get pretty damn interesting. Especially since it doesn't involve me getting a tattoo. I like that idea, but you've got to then take a picture of it and send it in. Obama. That's super interesting. Super interesting.
David Pacman, if you get to 1.5 million subscribers by October 1st, will you return those panels to Sam Cedar? By the way, you are a loser.
Whoa.
Pacman's a loser.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'll give Sam the panels back or something like that. I guess. I don't know. Thanks to Thomas Widow and Ian Challoner for the website subscriptions at joinpacman.com. Very much appreciate that. Let's see what other ideas people have here. I love the idea of a parody segment of Alex Jones or another right-wing idiot. That could be fun. Love the show. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know that is so exciting we tie it to the 1.5 million. Thoughts on MAGA communism? I've never heard of that. Has anyone even heard of MAGA communism? I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's not a term I'm familiar with. Thanks to Nurse Jilly. Oh, here's an idea. Okay, so here's something I would be willing to do. I don't know that this would even really be funny, but I would integrate it. I would be willing to get the voice changer that our friend Kit Boga uses during his content, and use it for something. Yeah, I don't know what I would do, and like do the old lady voice and stuff like that. Totally glad to do that. That's fine. I mean, it's just a financial thing. I just have to buy it. But I would totally do that. Could we do a poll with the top choices for hitting 1.5 million by X date? I don't want to do that. No, because I don't want to dissuade people from subscribing in order to like get it right or so, for lack of a better term. So I don't want to do that. It's going to be when it is. And we are beautifully accelerating towards that. As you can see, every moment that passes almost, folks titillated by the prospect of me. So far, what we've agreed to do is if we get to the 1.5 million by Yom Kippur, I will fast and I will live video blog fasting sunrise to sunset on Yom Kippur on like TikTok or something like that. Okay. So that's what we've agreed on so far. 1.5 million calls for a drum solo with Obama, Mangoes, and Alex Jones impression samples. Celebrate, smash the drums, would love it. That's a lot of production. That's a lot to like set up. So I just don't know about that. Not too sure about that. Yeah, I just don't really know that we're doing that. All right, let's take a quick listen. Trump expected any moment.
Voight is another one that comes out and supports the president. And of course, you know, we see what late night TV looks like. I mean, if it wasn't for President Trump, there's a lot of stand-up comedians that would not simply have any content because they don't have the skills or the creative team to come up with something fresh. They just make fun
right. There haven't been 60 years of late night comedians before Trump was president, so they would just have nothing to do. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's take a look here at some other things happening in and around the Trump rally, if we have them. There might not be that much going on at this rally, to be honest. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of video in from the rally. Let's see. Trump rally. See what's going on there. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Oh, now this is the good stuff. Woman at the Trump rally says the race was rigged, but the Republicans that won were legit. Oh, this I have to hear.
I mean, I think it starts from the governor. I'll say it, he's corrupt. I don't think he won. There's no way when Trump and all Republicans won the down line that he won in 2020. And I don't care who knows that. But you know, it's just, I feel like the state has a lot of corruption.
Oh, you know what, guys? S-Prez is making a good point. Yom Kippur is a full day fast starting at sunset the day before. Okay, so let me see. Sunset, New York City, October 4, 2022. So if I'm doing, oh God, oh no. Sunset on October 4th is 6:33 p.m. So basically that means if we're doing the Yom Kippur fast for 1.5 million subscribers, I need to know. Oh, wait, no. October 3rd. I need to know what's the sunset on October 3rd. 6:35. Okay, that gives me 2 extra minutes of eating. The fast would start at 6:35 Eastern on Monday, October 3rd. So that's the deadline for the 1.5 to start the fast. And if that happens, I guess I'll have a calzone ready or something like that. A beautiful calzone with ricotta and everything. 6:35 October 3rd. That's brutal. Oh, wait, it's sunset the 4th to the 5th. Oh, I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, so October 4th, 6:33 into the 5th. Man, I don't even know what days this is all happening. So it's the 4th by 6:33. Fine. Okay. Let's go back to the clips that we were doing. Here's a guy who explains why he supports Trump.
I'm going to tell you why I support President Trump.
Please.
He is a problem solver. In fact, I'm amazed of his genius.
This guy is shocked by how much of a genius Trump is.
I'm going to tell you.
That is a fascinating clip. Here's a guy who's baffled by the fact that Biden hasn't been impeached.
That Biden should be impeached for what he's done with what he did with Afghanistan, for one. Just us leaving and not helping our troops that are still over there today. It's just, it baffles my mind that a sitting president can sleep at night knowing what he's done. That Biden...
Pretty incisive, guys. Hard to compete with that. I mean, the guy's making a lot of sense, I have to tell you. William Merrill is the newest member on my website, number 225. Thanks to Shorty, New York Jailhouse, and Narf Harder for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 228. A couple other super chats. Pappy suggests I visit Ukraine at 1.5 million subscribers. Guys, remember, you have to say what I would do and if we do it by what date. If we do it by what date. This really, really, really is our last chance. Hey, kids, once communist, there is no coming back to freedom. Jeez. Who's going communist? I don't even get that. 1.5 million before Halloween, interview Whitney. That's not a stretch goal enough because we're on track to hit it by November 1. So one day early is not like that impressive, Denver. I would gladly interview Whitney, but I think we've got to make the goal a little bit more interesting. Here's a message about the mainstream media from the Trump rally.
Don't listen to the mainstream media about what President Trump's policies are, because that is complete propaganda. It is lies that are being fed to you by horrible people. So really look into it and look up what policies you thrived under and the policies right now that are hurting every single American.
I honestly can't think of a single policy right now that's hurting me, that's preventing me from thriving. I really can't. Here's a guy who is conflicted between Trump running again or DeSantis running.
Do you want to see him run again in 24?
I would love to, but at the same time, I'd love to see DeSantis run as well.
Oh,
interesting. All right.
I think that DeSantis would do a great job. I mean, look what he's done with Florida. He's been a great...
Yeah, you guys, just look at what DeSantis has done to Florida. I'm sorry, in Florida. For Florida, I mean.
Great governor of Florida. I don't think... I would love to see them as running mates, but I think that would cause conflict.
Yeah, that's an understatement. It would cause conflict. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now they're playing a Biden video. Is this being played in the stadium?
Up against a Latina female.
Yeah. Hey, Amy, stand by just stand by for 1 second if you can hear me. We've got the crowd looking, everybody's looking to the right, and I believe it's because the president's plane has arrived. Looks like he's gonna be making his way up to the stage here any second now.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a handle on where exactly he is in the crowd. You know, he pops off the plane and I see a couple
God, look at him.
guys. Oh, there he is. He's gonna throw out some
What
signs.
size hat is that? That is enormous. Oh, it was a bunch of hats. I got it. Okay, a few last things here. 1.5 million before the next Trump rally. You cover it live in person. I don't think we're going to make it by the next Trump rally. The next Trump rally is like, I think, 6 days from now. Big thank you to Alyssa O'Connor. Also, thanks to Kyoko, our friend Kyoko, for gifting 2 subscriptions. That's 3 total, putting us at 231. Folks, can we get to 250 before Trump says a word? Is that even potentially possible? From the Majority Report, Jackson Hinkle joins OAN to talk about MAGA communism. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. Kyoko gifting 1 more puts us at 232. This is going to be tight. We may be able to make it before Trump says a word. Yeah. All right, we made it, folks. S. Prez just gifted 20 subscriptions 20 subscriptions. Beautiful. Putting S-Prez now somewhere above 1,500, which is a crazy, crazy number, as Donald Trump is about to speak. Will I interview Trump at 1.5 million? Sure. I mean, Trump's never going to agree to be interviewed by me. That's just, it's what it is, you know? That's not something he's going to do. Okay, let's, let me know in the chat. Is Trump going to do the transgender line today?
No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender.
What do you think? Will he say it today? It's become a staple, a mainstay of the rallies. Looks like basically everybody says absolutely he's going to say it. Yeah, I think he almost certainly will. Will Trump say the following name during today's speech?
Swami Vivekananda.
Or will Trump name this gentleman?
Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, let's listen.
Wilmington, hello.
Oh, technical problems
I'm
already.
thrilled to be back in the beautiful state of North Carolina. We won it twice, and we won it big, and we won it easily. With the thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. There are a lot of people here. That's a lot of people. That's a big crowd, Ted. Great Ted, bud. That's a big crowd. You got to be happy. 7 weeks from now, the people of North Carolina are going to vote to fire the radical left Democrats. You're going to send the great Ted Budd to the U.S. Senate. You're going to elect an incredible slate of true American first Republicans up and down the ballot. And together we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all. This election is a referendum on Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, the radical left Democrat Congress that's destroying our country, that's brought our country really to the brink of ruin. You know what's happening. You know it better. And by the way, did you see the stock market today? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Markets.
This is a classic from Trump. When he was president, on bad stock market days, he would say nothing but brag on good days. With Biden as president, he does the opposite. It's kind of worthless.
Left office, the price of electricity is up 19%. Gasoline is up 82%. Fuel is up 91%. Milk is up 22%. Eggs are up only 46%.
Eggs? That's interesting.
Is up 24%. The 30-year mortgage rate has more than doubled. And real wages have declined 17 months in a row. Otherwise, we're doing quite well. Thank you very much. Household wealth fell by a record $6.1 trillion last quarter. It's a record, never happened. The stock market has shed $7 trillion in value this year. Think of that. How are your 401ks doing, folks? They must be beautiful. Must be beautiful. Mark, your lieutenant governor. How are the 401ks? Mark, not too good. Not too good. Over 5 million illegal aliens have flooded across our borders. And the number, I think, is a lot more than that. Drug overdose deaths have risen in North Carolina at a level that nobody's ever seen before, at least 26%. And the murder rate is the highest in 25 years, and probably the answer is 49 years. This choice this November is very simple. If you want the decline and fall of America, then you should vote for the crazy, radical left Democrats, and that's what they are. Oof. If you want to stop the destruction of our country and save the American dream, you must vote Republican. Joe Biden and the Democrat arsonists do not care one bit about the pain and suffering they're causing you, your family, or our once great country. Remember, I was going to use an expression, we have to keep our country gay, but it's not,
keep the country gay. That's new.
More, and we can name those reasons, and we're going to discuss them tonight. Now, just out of curiosity, We have a 1 hour speech. We have a 2 hour speech. We have a 3 hour speech. What do you want me to do? He says,
no. Oh, no. Please don't threaten me with that.
Sam says 3. Look at Uncle Sam. We love Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. They're trying to ban, Uncle Sam.
He really wants to be Fidel Castro. 3 hour speech, dear God.
Representing our country anymore. They think it's racist. I don't know. Uncle Sam, are you a racist? I don't think so. The only thing these deranged leftists care about, the only thing they talk about is trying to destroy your favorite president, me. Have you ever heard of me? And our great patriotic movement. That's true. There's never been a president that's gone through the crap that I'm going through, left and right, left. You feel like a fighter, left and right, and then you get up and you knock the hell out of them. And I'm glad we put on the piece from Jesse Waters. You saw that just before about the document hoax. We have a
Trump plays clips now at rallies.
Talking about me with documents, and then they go back over the last 5 presidents. You take a look at that hoax. There's no better example of the left's chilling obsession with targeting political opponents than the baseless, abusive, and depraved lawsuit against me, my family, my company, by the racist Attorney General of New York State, Letitia Peekaboo James. This raging maniac campaigned for office, ranting and raving about her goal. Her only goal is we got to get Donald Trump. We got to get him. She knew nothing about me. I never heard of her. In fact, I was watching it, and I said, boy, that woman's angry. I don't think she likes me too much. All without having any evidence. She knew nothing about me. Before she had even begun her phony investigation, she went around boasting her plan to weaponize her office against me, probably working with the federal government, of course. Declaring, I look forward to going into office of Attorney General, New York State, every single day and suing him. I'm going to sue him. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to be so happy because I sued him. She further screamed that his days are numbered and proclaimed that
oh my God.
Donald Trump. This is a gross prosecutorial misconduct, and it's coming in so many different forms, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's from Washington, D.C., whether it's January 6th, coming from many different forms. There's never been a period of time like this, and I thought actually because Liz Cheney was so badly defeated, I thought that January 6th would go away, and I think it is going away, actually, because that really was the sentiment of a great group of people. She got, I think it was the largest defeat in the history of politics as a congressperson. And that was a referendum on what they're doing. In a fair country, instead of harassing me, the Biden Justice Department would be investigating Letitia James for her appalling and malicious abuse of power.
Right.
We won't even mention Hunter. We're not going to mention that because that would be disrespectful.
He has nothing to do with anything.
It's too long to talk about it. We'd be talking about it. Thankfully, the latest polls show that Peekaboo James is losing to her Republican challenger this fall.
Oh, yeah.
He's very good, too. He's a great guy. He's a real crime fighter. And we wish Michael a lot of luck because he's representing a lot of people that want to see New York change. It's a crime-ridden place.
A big deal.
But she doesn't just deserve to lose. She deserves to be removed from office, immediately disbarred, and banished from the legal profession forever. And that goes for others also. Because these prosecutors, these Democrats are out of control. They've gone crazy.
Yeah, they're bonkers.
They've gone crazy. The Republicans don't fight that way, and I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but you know what? It's a big difference. On Letitia James's watch, New York has become a cesspool of violent crime.
Right.
Homicides in New York are up 52%. Robberies are up 38%. And carjackings are up listen to this one, 286%. That's the new thing. You get in your car, oh, I love my car so much, darling.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for buying. And then a gun goes through the window. They say, give me that car. 286% up. Rather than spending all of her time going after me and my family, Ivanka, think of it, Ivanka. Ivanka is a very good person. Don Jr., he's a good person. Eric, these are good people.
Yeah, great people.
This crazy radical leftist nut job, James, should be going after the killers, the gangbangers, drug dealers, and MS-13 savages who are ravaging the state of New York. But the radical Democrats don't care about prosecuting violent criminals. They only care about persecuting Republicans or conservatives.
Dear God.
We got to remember this. We got to remember. As we have seen in recent years, our opponents have shattered every principle of justice, ransacked every institution, abused every power, and unleashed every weapon of the deep state, the fake news media. And
full-blown conspiracy theorist at this point.
Look how many there are. Oh. Wow. And the Silicon Valley censors, all to try and stop us, but it's not going to be easy to stop us because there's many, many more of us than there are of them. And you know, I don't even say Republicans or conservatives. I say, you know what I call us? People with common sense. People with common sense. We don't want open borders. We want low taxes. We want good education. We want military, good, strong military. We want all of the things that just common sense. It's really not conservative, Mark? I don't think so. It's common sense. But no matter what these left-wing tyrants throw at us, no matter what the sick Washington establishment does to us, we keep on going, we keep on fighting, and we keep pushing forward. We have no choice. A very wealthy and successful man saw me 2 days ago, and I talked a little bit. I don't know if anyone saw Sean Hannity last night, but for the last 2 nights, he's...
it's shocking he's even acknowledging that that interview exists.
Smart. And I told him that there was a man that came up to me, but this happens a lot. And he came up and see, you know that tractor out there? All that buzzing means is that it's going backwards, but it'll stop. It just stopped. It's amazing. That tractor's a long way. I know a lot about tractors. But a man came up to me, very successful, powerful man. And I said, how you doing? How have you been? He said, very good. But could I ask you a question? Sure. How do you take it? These fake prosecutors, you went through the impeachment, you went through this, and you know our poll numbers today are the strongest we've ever had.
Yeah, that's a lie. Was the guy crying also? That's part of the story, right? The guy was crying when he asked him this?
And you know what I said to him? Do I have a choice? No. These people are crazy. They're crazy. But we're on a mission to rescue the America we love and restore the republic to greatness, and we will not fail. We're not going to fail.
You know, there was a time when Republicans would say, you never say the U.S. is bad. You always say it's great, but like, we'll make it better. You know, Republicans would say it's too much to say the country's not perfect. And now he says it all the time. This is a totally different Republican Party.
Think of it. And it wasn't the Russians that were spying. It was the Americans that were spying. Can you imagine? Take Obama. Can you imagine if one of us spied on his campaign? Would they call for the death penalty or something slightly worse than that? Impeachment hoax number one. Impeachment hoax number two. The Unselect Committee on January 6th. It's an unselect committee. I love that term. I made it. You know, they call it the select. I said, oh, I love the term unselect. They are. That's Liz Cheney and her band of terrible people. How about Adam Crying Kinzinger? He's another great Republican. By the way, and out of the 10 that voted to impeach, 8 are gone, and the other ones will be gone very soon. These were all races that couldn't be lost, and you're going to meet a couple of people today that won. Russell, congratulations, Russell. What a good job, Russell. Where the hell is Russell? Russell Fry, what a job. He beat his opponent so badly, Rice, right? He beat him so badly that it was the biggest single defeat for a congressperson in history. Lost by 26 points. It doesn't happen, a sitting person. You know, sometimes they get out. They have scandal, they have problems, they get out. but nobody's ever lost by that much until Liz Cheney, who lost by 40 points. I'm sorry. Liz Cheney lost by 40. That's the biggest defeat. And then you turn on the fake news and they say, she's got a brilliant future. I wonder what her next move is going to be. I said, no, she lost by 40 points. They're talking about her brilliant future. She's not got a brilliant future. This week, it has even been revealed by a whistleblower that the FBI is taking resources away from fighting crime and using them for partisan political investigations to falsely label MAGA, Make America Great Again. MAGA. Remember what, they say MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. They don't want to say what it means. It means Make America Great Again.
Really, it means making attorneys get attorneys.
They want to call us domestic terrorists. Do you believe it? I'm not a terrorist. But you know what? There's great...
Former president denies being a terrorist. How many times has that happened?
Never forget, all of this torment, persecution, and oppression is not happening because of anything we've done wrong. It's happening because of everything our movement is doing so right and so brilliantly. The corrupt... Yeah, I mean, we did win 2 elections, right, in a row. By a lot. Did much better the second time than we did the first, Uncle Sam.
Right.
Got millions and millions more votes. The corrupt political class in Washington, D.C. hates us because we beat their rig system, we topple their entrenched power structures, and we expose their lies, we reveal their failures, and we laid bare their betrayals. We ripped up their globalists, those horrible globalist trade deals, those stinking rotten deals that we got USMCA instead of NAFTA, and we made a deal with China that's so great, and with Japan that's so great, and with South Korea. All countries that were ripping us off, they don't like me too much. We stood up to their open borders insanity. We confronted their sellout to communist China. We rejected their ridiculous mandates. Those mandates were bad. We ended their endless wars. We were the first one in many, many decades. We didn't go into wars, we got out, but we were respected more than we were ever respected as a nation. We didn't play games. We got along with all of them, but they knew we were America first all the way. This November, the American people are going to show this.
This is unfact checkable because it's all lies and delusion. It's just all the way down.
By voting in overwhelming numbers to throw them the hell out of office, starting with this disgusting human being, Letitia Peekaboo James. We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to save our country. We are going to drain that damn swamp, and I'll tell you, I did a hell of a job.
Why couldn't Trump do it in the 4 years he had?
Steve. They're bad people. They happen to be bad people. A lot of people said, can you bring the country together? I'll tell you, before COVID came in, a gift from China, commonly known as the China virus, to be a COVID. What the hell is COVID? It's called the China virus. Biden's afraid to say it. They don't want to say China virus. It's China virus. But before it came in, we had a country that was doing so well. China. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, women, men, young kids without a high school diploma, with a high school diploma, first in your class from MIT, first in your class from Wharton, first in your class from Harvard. It didn't matter. Every single group had
and I won't
the best
talk about the
numbers
third
they've
element
ever
of the
seen.
bathroom.
And I will tell you, people were starting to come together. I will say that. I was getting calls from people on the left, to put it mildly. Some of it would say the radical left lunatics, but I don't want to say that because I want to be respectful. But they were calling to get together. And then we had the horrible China virus float in, came from the Wuhan labs. Remember when they looked at me, they said, how do you know they came? Oh, we think it came from Italy. Remember, they started to blame poor Italy. It came from...
That never happened. Italy was an early hotspot. That's all.
China came from the labs. They either made a mistake, they have incompetent...
Trump now seems to have completely bought into the lab leak theory, for which there's not actually any evidence. It's crazy.
But maybe it wasn't, but they're going to pay a big price. But it came from the labs, but we were doing better than ever before, and our country was actually coming together. And people that would not necessarily be calling me were calling me to say, unbelievable job. But that got destroyed quickly, and then we rebuilt it, and we handed over a stock market that was higher than before. Think of it. The virus came in, it was higher. And today it's now lower than it's been in years. And it seems to be heading south. It's a shame. None of this should have happened. It was based on a lot of bad decisions, but none of this should have happened. The war in Ukraine should never have happened, wouldn't have happened. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history, put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our nation in less than 2 short years. It's true. 2 years ago, when I was in office, gasoline, famous, beautiful gasoline, was $1.87 a gallon. And it even hit $1.50, if you remember, at one point.
There is something particularly painful about this speech.
And, you know, they're using the strategic reserves, which I topped out. I bought 75 million barrels of oil from the oil companies when we were at an all-time low. I was so proud of it. I said, when are these fakers going to write a story that I made a good deal? Because it started to go after that. But I topped it out. First time in 52 years that the reserves were topped out. And you know what happened? This guy 4 weeks ago said, we're going to start taking it because we want to keep the gasoline low before the election. But after the election, it's going to go up like you've never seen before. It's a shame. I mean,
hey, by the way, Small Fuzzy Moss already got me the audio glitch from today.
Further scream that his days are numbered. Trump, this is a gross prosecutorial misconduct.
That's genius.
Is now a beggar for energy, and Biden and the Democrat Congress have just passed a massive anti-oil and gas bill to put American energy the hell out of business. Can you believe this? Can you believe it? Let's go buy an electric car that travels for 1 hour and 49 minutes, and then you can spend 4 hours on waiting for it to recharge. If you
Folks, I recently drove from New York City to Montreal. It's like 300 something miles. I stopped twice to charge 15 minutes each time while we fed the baby and did a diaper change. Would have had to do it anyway. It was totally fine. The car has a 330 mile range. It's fine. Everything's fine.
one of the largest tax hikes in American history. It's the largest tax hike, in my opinion. It'll prove to be pulverizing the middle class. It's happening to your middle class. The Green New Deal, they're spending trillions and trillions on the Green New Deal. It's like taking money and throwing it out the window, and it's causing tremendous inflation. Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation. Nobody's ever seen like it. That's before the virus came in. Then after it, we got it back. We handed something off that was so good, and they blew it. And they blew it at the border because all they had to do was leave it alone. We had the strongest border ever. Biden and the Democrat Congress created the worst inflation in more than 50 years, 9.1%, and their new so-called inflation.
I know you think you're being clever, Azor, who says, David, your electric car is charged by what kind of power plant? It's charged by sun collected by my solar panels.
A lot of belief in this place with all these thousands of people going as far as the eye can see. Thank you very much. But it's a fake deal. And it's thrown the economy into a free fall. I built our military and rebuilt our military, including our nuclear capability and the creation of Space Force, which everybody said, no, no, no. But China and Russia were killing us in space, and we did first time in 78 years since Air Force. They surrendered our strength and our heart. Our heart in Afghanistan.
Totally lost his train of thought. Glitch.
In Afghanistan, in my opinion, was the greatest humiliation that our country has ever seen. I don't believe we've ever seen humiliation like that, Ted Budd. You're not going to let that happen. I don't think we've ever had humiliation like what happened in Afghanistan. And now we have a war between Russia and Ukraine with potentially hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people dying that would never have happened if I was president. It wouldn't have happened. I dealt with Putin. I got along great with Putin. He wouldn't have done it, but I guarantee you he wouldn't have done it. And he didn't do it for 4 years. There wasn't soldiers built up on the border, nothing. He wouldn't have done it. Didn't do it. Somebody said, well, he might have done it. I said, well, he didn't do it for 4 years. And he didn't do it for really 5 years during the campaign we talked about. He didn't do it for 5 years.
All sound bites for the soundboard can be sent to info@davidpakman.com.
Have the worst border in the history of our country. And you know what? I believe it's maybe the worst border anywhere in the world and maybe in world history because
it's even choppier than the border between India and the Kashmir region of India and where it's like, look at it on a map and it's completely out of control. We have a worse border than that, guys.
Like is happening to the United States of America. Under my leadership, we ended catch and release. We deported record numbers of illegal alien gang members. And we built hundreds of miles of border wall. Despite 2.5 years of Democrat-inspired lawsuits, we won them all. We won every one of them. We completely finished our original plan of the wall, and then I said, let's do some more because we needed some other areas. And we got that almost finished.
This is a lie. Trump's promise was the entire border would have a wall on it by the end of his first term. He didn't do it. That's it.
They put it away where Texas and Arizona can't get to it. In other words, they want open borders. In short, the election was rigged and stolen, and now our country is being destroyed. It's being destroyed. What's happened? I ran twice, I won twice, and did much better the second time than I did the first, getting many millions more votes. Thank you.
Thank you for believing my lies. Crowd's deranged, huh?
Obama. Mexico, and I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Cook. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel. Getting millions and millions more votes in 2020 than we got in 2016. Everybody says, oh, you did so well in 2016. I said, we did much better in 2020. You know, we got 12 million more votes. I was told if we get the same number of votes, the same number, we can't lose. We got 63.
John McLaughlin told him that.
I said, what happens if we get more? Well, then you definitely can't. We got much more. We got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country by far. Far more than Obama, far more than anybody. Obama. But the good news is now we're leading Biden by a lot, and we're leading all of these Republicans by...
It kind of makes his loss that much more embarrassing, you know?
And we may just have to do it again, right? We may have to do it again. We may have to do it again. But first, we have to win a historic victory for the Republican Party this November. We have to swamp them. You know, the best way we can stop them from cheating, because they're cheaters, they're dirty, rotten cheaters. The best way we stop them from cheating is to swamp them.
Yeah. Here's another new clip from tonight's rally.
People were starting to come.
Dear God.
Deliberately created at our southern border. We're going to end that. We cannot continue to allow millions and millions. And I believe, Ted, it's 10 million people and probably more. You know, they say 3 million, 2.5 million. It's not. I believe it's many times that number. It's numbers like nobody's ever seen before. There's never been a country ever abused like this. It's an invasion. This week it was reported that Border Patrol agents have received an intelligence bulletin stating that Venezuelan dictator Maduro is opening up all of his prisons and sending vicious convicts, and these are tough ones, charged with murder, rape, and other heinous crimes straight across the border and into our wide open USA. Our beautiful USA is...
Wait, they're going across the Venezuelan U.S. border? It sounds like he's skipping a few steps there.
This is an invasion. And the only thing that surprised me about Venezuela is what took them so long, because other countries all over the world are doing it. Last year, we were invaded by 129 different countries. Think of it.
Did you guys know that? 129 countries launched invasions on the U.S. last year.
They opened their prisons. I don't know what took Venezuela so long, but they've opened their prisons and they let the roughest, toughest people that you'll ever see. You'll never see people like this. You don't know about people like this in North Carolina. You have tough people too, but they're people that like obeying the laws. They're people that love their police and respect their police and love their military. These people don't love their police and they don't respect their police. Last month, a sadistic illegal alien criminal in Texas was sentenced after committing a wild...
This is the lurid stories portion of the rally.
...carjackings in which
Did he call a carjacking a carjackson there?
Many cases, in 4 cases, beat them so badly that they died. He held guns to the head while they were dying. Right here in North Carolina, a single day this year, illegal aliens were charged with 24 sexual assaults, including 1 illegal alien predator charged with over a dozen sex crimes, including incest of a child, a very young child, 4 years old, and 2 counts of crimes against nature. Unfortunately, your radical Democrat Governor Roy Cooper has vetoed legislation requiring authorities to turn over...
Important reminder, everyone in the crowd who's 18 is allowed to vote.
Packs, you know, they call them packs. So they just go and they start swinging. You know, I know some of you people in these early rows, and I know some of them are tough. Would anybody like to join ICE and end up in fist fights for the rest of your life? They go into, they call them packs. Packs of very tough people, MS-13 people. They
like
have
animals.
Knives. They use knives to kill people because it's much more punishing, much more, takes longer. They like that because they're sadists. They use knives to kill people.
There's a lot of people are saying, are those stories Trump tells about these violent acts even true? That's a good question. I mean, he lies all the time. But one of the really funny things is Trump will sometimes talk about the conviction of someone and he'll describe the crime. As many of you know, it can take years for the conviction to happen after the crime. I've looked up some of the crimes he mentions. The crime took place when he was president. But now that they've been convicted while Biden is president, he blames it on Biden. Dude, the crime happened when you were president.
Office. I said, why? They said they won't accept him. I said, why won't they? Because they don't want him back, because they sent him here. Let me tell you, they sent him here. When they come into the caravans, I think it was another name I made up. I made up plenty, like fake news, like some Republican names too, but we won't mention because now they're all friends of mine.
What?
But I said to them, why won't they? They won't do it. They don't want them. I said, that's all right. Do we pay them money? Honduras. Do we pay El Salvador? Do we pay money to these? Yes, sir, you do. How much do we pay? Approximately $750 million, sir. I said, so we pay $750 million. They won't take them. Inform those countries immediately that we're not paying any money to them anymore. We are going to not pay any money because they won't take back the convicts, the prisoners, and some very bad people and terrorists that they sent over to us. So about 20 hours went by, not 24, a little bit less than 24. And I got a call from the president of Honduras. And I got a call from El Salvador. And I had a couple of other calls where they came in. Sir, I understand that you're not going to be sending any more money to my wonderful country. We were working so hard on economic development projects with the money. That's not, you know what the economic development is? Their pockets. I said, that's right, Mr. President. I won't be sending any more money to them because you won't take the people back. You know, they used to line up airplanes, Ted, on their runways so that we couldn't land the plane. And
what's that?
Then they'd set up very strong borders for our buses where we had buses loaded up with gang members and bad people, killers, murderers, rapists, and they wouldn't let them in. So I said, no, we're not going to give you any money anymore unless you decide to say we'd welcome to have MS-13 back. We look very much forward to having MS-13 come back. They said, sir, I'd like to tell you that it would be our great honor to take them back. Please be advised that our airports are open, our borders are open. Please send them back. And you know the interesting thing? I still never paid him the money, I figured.
Anybody have any idea what he's talking about?
But you know what angered me more than anything, Ted? I have to tell you this. So we had done that, and we were paying them very little. They were getting a lot, but they were getting $750 million. That's a lot. About 3 countries, primarily 3 countries. And then I heard the new administration comes in. Then I heard they were going to give them $4 billion, $4 billion. And I said, why? Because they want economic development to take place, because this way people won't come in. Can you believe the stupidity of this? So instead of $750 million, they're now giving them $4 billion. And you know what? I didn't check this, but I'll bet they don't take the gang members anymore also. Okay, I'll bet you that.
There you go.
When Republicans take back Congress, we should immediately pass the bill introduced by Ted Budd, allowing the victims of sanctuary cities and states to sue for damages when a loved one is hurt or killed as a result of these deadly people and deadly policies. Great, Ted. North Carolina should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens. We are going to make America great again, and our first task is to make America safe again, right? Safe. Just recently, a young 18-year-old man from North Dakota, I'm sure you read this over the last 2 days, named Kaler Ellingson, a young man, so handsome, beautiful, 18 years old, was targeted and killed, run down in cold blood with an SUV by a radical left maniac. He was a radical left stupid person simply because he was a Republican, and he was so proud of being a Republican, and this guy ran him down, and not one mainstream media network has even mentioned this horrible crime. Think of it. Now think of it the other way. Think of it the other way. Supposing a MAGA person ran down somebody on the other side, it'd be the biggest story you've ever seen. It's a disgrace. You people should be ashamed of yourself.
It's only right-wing media in the back of the room. No actual media is covering this.
Hearts go out to the parents and the friends. This young boy, this was a young man, wonderful, with a great future. And I'm just telling you, just so handsome and so beautiful and so great. And he got run down by a radical left nut job. Here in North Carolina, the radical Democrats have unleashed violent and hardened criminals to prey on innocent women and children. You know that. They're releasing them all the time. 4 weeks ago, a pregnant woman was viciously shot in the head in a road rage incident in Raleigh. You know Raleigh? Do we all know?
I'm trying to remember. The point of the lurid stories is to point out that Democrats are bad. Is that the point of these stories?
A young mother was carjacked in broad daylight in a mail that, I mean, right by a post office, right by a mall, an open parking lot in Durham, as her 10-month-old son was sleeping in the back seat, killed. And in Charlotte a few weeks ago, a 48-year-old mother of 4 and grandmother of 3 was ruthlessly gunned down and killed in a robbery after she stopped at an ATM machine to get some money to buy groceries.
It's like a lot of these crimes in red states, the criminals might be Republicans. I mean, I just don't even get it.
Because it's always tough to say what I'm about to say, but it's a great thing. A drug dealer will kill an average of 500 American citizens during his or her life. They'll destroy, kill 500. Not to mention the destruction of millions and millions of families that are so badly hurt. And I'm calling for the death penalty of drug dealers and human traffickers, which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution.
Notice how these people have been propagandized. When Trump started saying death penalty for drug dealers, people were kind of just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Now that he's known for calling for the death penalty for drug dealers, people actively cheer. Like, they love it. They wait for the line.
If you get out and vote for Ted Budd, Ted, you're not losing. I can tell you that. You're not going to be losing. But I went to China, and I got along very well with President Xi until the virus came in. Then I said, the hell with it, but I got along well. But I went to China, 1.5 billion people. I said, President, do you have a drug problem? He looked at me like, what kind of a stupid question is that? No drug problem. I said, you
Quick
don't
trial,
have really?
quick
You don't
trial.
have? No. Probably thought I was not very sophisticated. He said, can you believe the stupidity of a question like that? And I said, so you have 1.5 billion, second to India, catching up with India, actually.
Quick trial.
But those are the two biggest at about that number. I said, so you have why don't you have a drug problem? Quick trial. I
There it
said,
is.
quick trial. Let's see. I think I know what that means, quick trial. He said, yes, when somebody in our country sells drugs, we take a trial. It's a very quick trial. It goes very quickly. And if they're guilty, that person is executed immediately, and we have no drug problem. And he said, what happens is we had a tremendous drug problem, he said, in China, tremendous. In fact, China was reduced to a weak country a century ago because it was all drugged out with the fields, the opium and the different fields and different kinds of drugs. And I also told them, by the way, don't send any fentanyl to the United States anymore. Don't do it. And we had it way down. And then as soon as I was out there sending in record numbers, they're killing hundreds of thousands of people in our country. But I learned from that. And then Singapore, the same thing, and other countries. And, we have blue ribbon committees made up of socialites and nice people, but they don't really understand what this is all about. Remember this. If you do the death penalty for drug dealers, you will cut crime in this country, I think, by more than 80% immediately. If it's a meaningful death penalty, it'll take place immediately.
It has to be a real death penalty.
Don't have a drug problem are the places that have the death penalty for drug dealers. So I know it's tough to say. I sort of didn't want to say it. I've said it for the last couple of weeks. My people, my great geniuses that do political stuff, that we all have to suffer through. Mark, we have to listen to these people. But, by the way, how good a lieutenant governor do you have, right? Stand up.
New topic.
You've got a future.
The shiny object just walked by.
Mr. and Mrs. Well, I'm very impressed. Oftentimes I do that and people just don't care. They care about you too. But if you think about it, and we would cut crime in the country because a big part of our crime is drug-related crime. We have to get tough in our cities. The big thing, we have to get so tough in the cities. It was up to the governors to do. And we had the governors, and they don't want to do it. All Democrat-run cities and states, they're the ones that are letting this happen, and they're destroying our great cities. They are destroying
most cities
them
are run
like
by
never
Democrats.
before. And I have to, as president,
Safe,
that I had
unsafe,
to
everything.
allow the governor to call in. And I'd call them, when are you calling in? Like in Minnesota, Minneapolis. When are you calling in, Governor? We don't want the guard. They're burning down your city, Governor. When are you calling in? And I just sent them in. If we didn't send them in, you wouldn't have a Minneapolis right now. You wouldn't have had Seattle clean. Remember, they took out like 20% of... They literally moved into Seattle and took over a big piece. And so I said, we're sending them in. And as soon as they heard we're sending them in, they scattered.
Right.
Otherwise, they'd be there today. Under a Republican Congress, we should also pass emergency funding to hire thousands and thousands more police officers nationwide and to put violent criminals behind bars and to keep them behind bars. And also, and it's so important, leave our police alone. Let them do their job. Give them back their respect. They know what to do better than anybody. We have to allow them to do it. We have to allow our police to do it. We have put the handcuffs on our police. We've reversed it. The first step, thank you very much. I love you too very much.
Very, very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. The first step to restoring public safety in North Carolina is defeating the Democrats' these are radical radical people you have. Where the hell do these people come from? This is not from North Carolina. You don't have those values in North Carolina. And we have to elect Ted Budd to the United States Senate this November.
Really strong endorsement.
Ted is running against a weak on crime. Sounds like Letitia, weak on crime. Left-wing extremist named Sherry Beasley. Did anybody ever hear of Sherry Beasley? She was a judge, Sherry Beasley was. She was a Marxist radical who personally stopped the death sentences of 8 death row inmates convicted of the most hideous crimes, including an animal who brutally raped and murdered a 4-year-old girl, a man who stabbed to death a convenience store clerk, and sexually assaulted her while the knife was still in her neck, and a criminal who grabbed the sheriff duty's gun, grabbed his gun while he didn't think he had a problem with this person. He was trying to be nice. And while he was being nice, and he executed the sheriff at point blank range. She stopped their death penalty and wants to have them get out of prison.
This is such an electrifying and an inspirational speech.
Left on crime, she formed a fundraising partnership with the most militant to fund the police Democrat in Congress, a person called Cori Bush. Did you ever hear of her? And she'll support deadly sanctuary cities releasing dangerous criminal aliens into your North Carolina communities. I have property in North Carolina, very proud of my property in North Carolina. Trump National on the beautiful, beautiful lake, largest man-made, woman-made lake in the world, I believe. It's great. Lake Norman. Did anybody ever hear of Lake Norman? I love Lake Norman. In fact, I'd like to go from here, Ted, and go over to Lake Norman and do something. I love that property. Sherry Beasley.
Trump doesn't know what you do at a lake, but he'd like to do something.
North Carolina families in the middle of an absolutely collapsing economy. You know, there's an expression, Trump was right about everything. And if you look, I was right about the border. I was right about Ukraine. I was right about Taiwan. And I'm hope I'm not going to be right about World War III, because we have stupid people dealing, and you could possibly end up, better chance today than ever. You know, Putin mentioned the N-word. You know what the N-word is? It's, no. It's the nuclear word. He mentioned the N-word yesterday, the nuclear word, not supposed to be mentioned. You could end up in World War III, and this will be a war like we've never had before. It won't even be close, because we're being run by stupid people. And worst of all, Beasley has vowed to be the 50th vote for abolishing the Senate filibuster, giving the radical left free rein to ban voter ID, grant mass amnesty to illegal aliens, pack the Supreme Court. They want to pack the court. I don't understand those justices. They should have shut them down a long time ago. They'll put on 22, 24, 23.
That riled the crowd. When Trump said it's all about the N-word, the crowd was like, oh, whoa, now this is getting interesting.
In fact, they'll have so many chairs there, you won't be able to go into the Supreme Court anymore. And they want to do that. And to pass every other dangerous left-wing fantasy that you can imagine. If Sherry Beasley gets in, the squad will have total control, and they will drive America right off the cliff. It's almost there now anyway.
What just happened? We just muted something.
Saying it. I love our country, but it's so sad what's happened to our country in 2 years. By contrast, Ted Budd is a conservative, America First, all-star in Congress. They love him, the congressman they all called. Could you do us a favor? Could you endorse Ted Budd? I said, I hear he's good. Tell me about him. But a lot of people didn't know him. His area where he has been a congressman for a long time, they love him. But a lot of the people in the state, but once they got to know him, he's leading by a lot. But I don't even want to say that, because you have to get out and vote. We don't want to have they're leading by a lot, Ted, and everyone says, oh, he's going to win, and then they don't vote. That's happened before, hasn't it, to people? So we don't want to have. So let's assume he's down by 1. But he will always defend your safety, your jobs, and your North Carolina values. He loves the people of North Carolina. In fact, I asked, did anyone ever hear of Laura Trump? Laura. I said, Laura, why don't you run? I think we could get you. I think you'd be, I mean, you know, she's so popular. She grew up in North Carolina. She's incredible. Married to my son, and I have a good, I got good sons. I got good sons. I have good daughters. But she's, they've got a good daddy. That's true, I would say. But she's married to Eric. And you know, I said, Laura, why don't you run? She said, because Ted Budd is going to do a fantastic job. How about that? I never even told you that.
Yep.
I don't know if she would have beaten you, Ted. I don't know. But I think I would have had a hard time supporting you. I would have said, Ted, remember I told you I was going to endorse you? If you don't mind, I'm going to take that sucker back. No, but she loves the state, and she loves you, and she thinks you're going to do a fantastic job. So, and I do, too. I know you will.
Right.
Ted will vote to stop the radical Democrats' inflation-causing spending binge, and he will unlock American energy and bring prices way down. And what happens when the prices come down to where they were? Putin stops the war. He'll stop it anyway. If I decide to do this, I guarantee he will stop it very quickly.
Is that right?
Very, very quickly.
Why not just have it stop now?
Ted has been rock solid on defending our borders. He helped build the wall. He fought for me in the war. We had to fight those Democrats like you wouldn't believe. And he fights relentlessly to get dangerous criminal aliens off your streets. Ted is endorsed by the North Carolina Troopers Association. All of the police are endorsing Ted. Not like they have a choice. I mean, what's their choice? A radical left Democrat that wants to defund the police. She wants to defund the police. Is she crazy? How the hell do these people get votes? You know how? By cheating. That's how they get votes. And Ted is truly the candidate, and is said to be the candidate of a thing called law and order. You know, that used to be a term you're not supposed to say.
Right.
We'll say it all the time, Ted. And as a gun store owner, Ted will always defend your Second Amendment. So I'd like to ask Ted Budd to come on up and say a few words.
So remember, if Ted Budd doesn't mostly talk about Trump, Trump will start looking bored very, very quickly. When you're a candidate, you have to talk about Trump. Why is it all blue?
I think I can speak for all of us here who are glad to have Donald J. Trump back in North Carolina.
Sucking up.
Mr. President, I can also say that we are ready to stop the Biden-Beasley agenda and make America great again. We all know that the Biden-Beasley agenda makes our life worse, but our plan, Mr. President, it did and it will again make our life better.
Trump's already bored.
Comes to the America First agenda, President Trump didn't back down. And when you endorsed me, you said, Ted, it's because you didn't back down. So I want to let you know that I'm not going to back down either, friends.
All right.
Mr. President, we just want to say thank you. We want to thank your whole family as well. Now let's go win this for our country.
So he actually did a good job. He mostly talked about Trump, and that's how you're supposed to do it.
Great gentleman. He's going to represent you long and hard.
Long and hard.
Everybody needs to get out. Remember, it's November. You got to
here?
get out. We don't have a choice. We're not going to have a country left. We're not going to have a country left.
was
You got to
weird.
get out. You got to swamp them. We're also.
He's going to represent you long and hard. I don't even understand that.
These are great people. I've endorsed them all. Bo Hines from North Carolina's 13th Congressional District.
Very strange, guys.
He's handsome, and he was a very good
Very strange.
football player. Usually I don't like endorsing handsome people. I don't like it. But I have no choice. Great, Bo. And I hear you're doing fantastically. It's looking really good. So, good. Go out and get him.
Yep.
Sandy Smith from North Carolina's 1st Congressional District. Sandy, and you have my total endorsement, and you get out and win that race. And you have a lot of congressmen I'll tell you, including Scott. He called me so many times, I said, just stop calling me. But he loves Sandy, so good luck, okay? Good luck. She's going to be terrific. Thanks, Sandy.
Yep.
And a man I'm really fond of because he beat one of the impeachers, right? He beat Congressman Rice. And Congressman Rice suffered a big, big loss. That wasn't even, it was an unexciting evening because I guess the polls closed at 8 o'clock, and at 8:01, they said, Russell Fry has won the election. Took 1 minute. It was a slaughter. South Carolina's 7th congressional district, big Trump district, and it's an honor to have you as my friend, and you are a professional, and your staff I just met backstage, and I really want to congratulate you on a great win. I want to get rid of all those impeachers. We got almost all of them out. They're almost all gone. Thank you. What a great job. You're going to be there a long time. Thanks as well to, I think, one of the hottest politicians in the United States of America, and has become a friend of mine, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
Wow.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Super hot.
Great. You're incredible, incredible wife. Thank you very much, Mrs. Robinson. Congressman David Rosier. David Rosier.
I can't.
Pronunciation, but he's great, and he's a warrior. David,
Mrs.
you've been
Robinson.
a warrior. You've been such an incredible friend. Thank you very much. Speaker of the North Carolina House, Tim Moore. Tim, thank you very much, Tim. Great job, Tim.
Would you like me to seduce you? Would you like me to seduce you?
And we did great
Little
both
Mrs.
times,
Robinson
and I never
clip.
had a problem because you have in North Carolina a GOP chairman named Michael Whatley, who's fantastic. Where's Michael? Michael, thank you, Michael.
Related to dentist Tim Whatley, of course, played by Bryan Cranston.
Good, I think so, huh? How's Mark doing? I think Mark's not going to have too much problem. Whatever the hell. Hey, by the way, whatever you're running for, let me know. I want to give you a real early endorsement. I don't know. But you have great people, and you do a fantastic job, and we appreciate it. I think very much. Thank you. And the ambassador, a friend of mine, is here, highly respected. I got to say this. Do you have any football fans? Yeah, I guess, right? The craziest game I ever saw was the Jet game last week. Is that right? So there's like a minute and 37 seconds left. They're down by 13 points, and they were having a tough game, and they don't even have the ball. I think the chances of them winning was 1/100th of 1%, and nobody would take the bet. And they got some kind of a fumble. They threw a long pass. It was caught. They got 7. And then they got an onside kick. This took place over like about a minute and a quarter. And they got an onside kick, and they went for a touchdown, and they won the game because the other field goal kicker missed a field goal somewhere during the game.
Crowd super engaged with this story.
They needed 14 points. They got 14 points like in a minute and 12 seconds. It was the craziest thing. And I called the coach because I think the coach is like a great guy, general manager too. Coach, I said, Coach, you're greater than Vince Lombardi.
And he said,
because Vince Lombardi never did that. He was never able to pull out a game like that because that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The game was done. It was over. And the owner of the Jets is here with his incredible wife, Woody Johnson and Suzanne Johnson, and they are so happy.
Yeah.
Where the hell are they? Where are they? Where are they?
Did that even happen as he described it? Like, I didn't see the game. Was that even the way it happened?
He's better. He's better than anybody. The greatest coach in
More or
America.
less,
He's a
okay.
great guy. But that was some game, Woody. I know you expected to win when you're down by 13 and you don't have the ball and there's a minute and a half left. But Woody Johnson's a great guy, and his wife is even better, okay? So
I just realized, Woody Johnson? What a name. And Trump's talking about long and hard. It's a bizarre speech tonight.
Captivates New York, captivates it. This is also the home state of someone who I said before is very special. Lara, we love you, Lara. I'm glad you didn't run. I'm glad we didn't need you. We got Ted. But Lara, how good is she on television, by the way? She's fantastic. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. And I just want to go on to say we're wrapping up, but
the speech,
we have a country that is in such bad.
The speech isn't electric when the speaker tells you, by the way, we're starting to wrap up the speech.
People of North Carolina than any administration in history, and Mark knows this, they all know this. North Carolina lost half of its manufacturing jobs after the twin disasters of NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever, which I terminated, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization.
In conclusion.
But after decades of false promises and bitter betrayals from other politicians, I ended NAFTA. They said I couldn't do it. And Mexico was not happy, and Canada was not happy. And I replaced it with the USMCA, that's Mexico and Canada, the best trade deal we ever made in our country's history. A giant win for North Carolina, as you all know, and the workers.
Folks, look at what I already have.
And he's going to represent you long and hard.
Thanks to Small Fuzzy.
Now trying to renegotiate the deal with the Biden administration. Don't do it. Don't do it, Joe. Don't do it. Don't allow it to happen, because they took advantage of us for 30 years. I withdrew from the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership, would have destroyed your state. To protect American workers, I placed stiff tariffs on foreign aluminum and steel and saved you.
Is there something going on here, guys? I mean, in all honesty, what is happening here? Stiff?
States right now, I put 50% tariffs. China was dumping steel all over the place. I don't think they like me too much. We live by two simple but critical rules: buy American and hire American. Buy and hire. And I stood up to China like no president in history, taking in billions and billions and billions of dollars in tariffs and taxes. No other president took in 10 cents. They never did anything. They came in and they raped and pillaged our country.
Raping?
And we never did anything. And we then gave $28 billion to our great farmers, because our farmers were hit hard during the negotiation. You know, China said, we're not going to do anything. They thought they'd outbluff me and say, we're not going to do anything for the farmers. And the farmers came in. I'll never forget, they came to the White House. And I said, don't worry, we're going to help you out. I'll get some subsidy for you during this. Or, sir, we don't want subsidy. Only group that ever said that to me were the farmers. We just want a fair playing field, a level playing field. I'll never forget that. I had 32 farmers in. They said, all we want is a level playing field. And I made the best deal ever made for farmers and manufacturers, and that was the deal with China. But then when COVID came in, I don't talk about it. I don't even talk about it. But it's been an incredible deal for the farmers. We wanted to do, I asked Sonny Perdue, the Secretary of Agriculture, how much have they hurt us and what kind of numbers have they done? Sir, they've hurt us $12 billion the first year, they about 14 to 16 billion the second. So I said, that's okay. So I charged China $28 billion and I gave it to the farmers, $28 billion. And we had hundreds of billions left over, hundreds of billions of dollars which came into the Treasury. We fought for North Carolina and we won for North Carolina. And this November, we're going to fight and win for North Carolina once again. One of the first things we will do is to stand up for parents' rights. It's time to finally and completely break the radical left's corrupt education cartel.
Is he going to do the teach transgender line, guys? Let me know in the chat.
A politician. I never thought of myself as a politician, but I guess I am, right? But think of it. I'm actually talking that we're going to stand up for parents' rights. Can you imagine saying that like 10 years ago? They'd say, he said he's going to, I mean, of course he's going to stand up for parents' rights. Today it's like politically, it's somewhat politically incorrect to even say it. We are standing up for parental rights. Can't believe I have to even say it. Can't believe I have to say it. Our children are captives to unhinged Marxist educators who are pushing inappropriate sexual, racial, and political material on our children from the youngest possible age. At long last, every part and every parent in America must be empowered to opt out of indoctrination and send their child to the public, private, charter, religious, or home school of their choice. They're going to do that. In addition, we will get critical race theory, another beauty.
It's coming.
Out of
It's
our
gotta be coming
schools,
soon.
out of our military. I took it totally out of our military. They put it back in. And out of every part of our federal and state and local governments. We will also keep men the hell out of women's sports, right? Keep men out of women's sports. We're gonna keep men out. You see those records that are being broken at numbers that nobody ever could think of? The weightlifters are hitting, you know, if they picked up 1 ounce, they'd be thrilled after years. But we're breaking records by 150 pounds. We're breaking the swim records at numbers. 1/8 of a second she wanted. You know the story. I've told it often. I won't bother telling it tonight. But 1/8, he says, tell it. 1/8 of a second. But he broke the record, this giant man. She's looking over. She said, who is this? She doesn't remember swimming against her. And she looks at this giant. He had a wingspan like Wilt, the stilt Chamberlain. And he broke the record by 38 seconds. She just wanted to break it by 1/8 of a second. And no teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without
There it is.
parental consent.
Whatever that means.
Another one of our highest priorities under a Republican Congress will be to stop left-wing censorship and to restore free speech in America. We don't have it. We are fake news. We get a lot of fake news. And go out and sign up right now with Truth Social. How good is Truth Social?
Oh,
It's
boy.
doing good. They're constantly trying to kill it, these
Truth
fakers.
Central.
It's doing great. It's a
Truth
hot platform.
Central.
I think it's the hottest platform. And I wouldn't say Twitter's doing too good. He just said it's
Truth.
killing Twitter. I wouldn't say Twitter's doing too good right now. But Truth. Sign up for Truth. We want the truth. The radical left Democrat Party is not a 50% party within our country. They're against God, guns, oil, law enforcement, voter ID, tax cuts, regulation cuts, the Constitution, and they're against our founding fathers. Other than that, I really think they're terrific.
They're
Aren't they,
against
Uncle Sam? Uncle Sam thinks they're fabulous. The way they win is to cheat in elections. I really believe that. How can you be against all of those things and then say, oh, we just nipped out Trump. We just whipped.
Nipped? Did he just say we nipped?
The Republican Party has a chance. We must pass critical election integrity reforms, including universal voting ID. Can you imagine? They don't want voting identification. And yet when they had their big convention, they had like placards in their front. Fingerprints, pictures, the nose 15 different ways, side. But they don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. Now think of it. Can you imagine? They don't want voter ID. Citizenship confirmation. They don't want that either. We don't want to know whether or not they're a citizen. They don't have to be a citizen, Ted. Not too many of those people are going to be voting for you, Ted, or Mark, or any of you.
Whatever your names
We
are.
want no more fake drop boxes. 417 million went into those fake drop boxes. And a lot of bad decisions are coming out in the courts about
more
the legality of those
drop
boxes. And I have to tell you that Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, has been incredible. What they've done on showing the election fraud has been incredible. And so have other states. No private money pouring into local election offices anymore. And ultimately, we need same-day voting with only paper ballots.
Not for Trump. He wants to vote by mail a month early, but...
Same-day voting. That's what we want. Same-day voting. You know, I have some ladies from North Carolina over there. They've attended 92 rallies. Stand up, please. These people, they're so beautiful. I'm not supposed, you know, you're not allowed to say that anymore, but you are. You know, you're not allowed to talk about a woman's beauty because it's politically incorrect, but look at them over there. They come from North Carolina, and I can be in Nevada, I can be in Texas, and they've attended 92, I don't know what it's doing for your marriages. They're married women with handsome husbands. The husbands are here a little bit less, but they come too. But they're incredible, and I'm in your state. So I figure I have to give you a shout out. 92 rallies they've attended. People were starting to come. And I think they're very rich, actually. I think they have to be rich to attend that. But look at the way they're dressed. Look at the way they're fantastic women. And we will see you soon, okay? We're working on something. They want to come to Mar-a-Lago. I said, you know, I think I'm going to let them. What the hell? I'm going to represent you long and hard. Are you bringing your husbands? Leave them home, the hell with them.
This is very sad. It is.
They're great people. We're just 7 weeks away. Where's Front Row, Joe? Oh, Front Row. How many have you been to? You know, they're looking at 92 as being like peanuts. That's great. Thank you, darling.
Peanuts.
Thank you very much. Front Row. These are the Front Row Joes. They wait in line for 5-6 days to get in. Can you believe? Because they want to be. You believe this, Ted? People got here 5 days ago. Are you exhausted? These are all the front row. We love you. Thank you very much, everybody. We are just 7 weeks away from the most important midterm election.
By the way, if you missed it and you're just joining us, there was an incredible audio disaster earlier.
Further scream that his days are numbered. Trump. This is a gross prosecutorial misconduct. And in 2024, most importantly, I got to say, Ted, I'm sorry, but most importantly, I shouldn't say that, Ted, but most importantly, we're going to take back our magnificent White House. We're going to take it back.
The crowd excited that it may soon be the end of the rally, clearly.
Together we will fight for more jobs for North Carolina, families, fair trade for North.
Whoops, sorry, guys.
Even imagine, just like we were doing before, factories will be forging more products stamped with that beautiful, beautiful phrase.
Trump's been speaking 69 minutes. That's not a joke, actually. It's been 69 minutes. This clearly is going to be a shorter rally because he's already getting to the climax and denouement.
Strengthen the patriots of ICE and Border Patrol. Border Patrol, what people they are too. They're incredible people. And we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. All things we did before, they just had to leave it alone. We will end the visa lottery, which is a disaster. We will clamp down on illegal immigration just like we did less than 2 years ago when we had, again, the greatest, strongest border in the history of our country. We will stop the crime wave in Democrat-run cities, and we will give our police the power they need and the respect they deserve. And we will never, ever take legal protection away from our police. They want to take legal protection. They want our police to go out and hire their own lawyers. Can you believe these people? We will restore a thing called law and order in America. We will hold China accountable for unleashing the virus upon the world. We will defend our Constitution, we will defend the Second Amendment, and we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our...
Remember, he means Christian. When they say Judeo-Christian, they're just trying to pretend to be inclusive of something other than Christianity.
Teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. In conclusion, our MAGA, Make America Great Again movement, to make America great again. I told that the other day. I was saying, please tell Biden, don't hit MAGA. It means make America great again. What's the hit? Can you imagine? They go after Make America Great Again, but that tells you, sir. It's by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country, probably in the history of almost all countries.
Of all time.
Together we are standing up against some of the most menacing forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. Despite great outside dangers from other countries, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, and evil people from within our own country.
True.
But no matter how big or powerful the corrupt, radical left Democrats are, we are fighting like nobody's ever fought before. I really believe that right now we are fighting like nobody has ever fought before. And you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. You and you belongs to you. This is your home, this is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. They want to take God out of politics. No, we're not taking God. From Asheville to Charlotte, from Greensboro to Raleigh, and from Kitty Hawk to right here at a place called Wilmington. Have you ever heard of Wilmington? This state was forged by some of the toughest men and some of the strongest women.
All right, let me know in the chat. Is Trump going to do the dance today? I know it's horrible, but what do you think?
Backcountry farmers and frontier settlers, incredible people, woodsmen and craftsmen and workers and warriors who poured their love into this land for their families. And above all, they were proud citizens, fiercely independent North Carolina patriots who blazed their own trail and took orders from nobody. They forged the pathways, they climbed the mountains, they fought the battles, they conquered the dangers, and they tamed the unknown wilderness. They built the factories, and they gave everything they had to make America into the greatest and most powerful nation in the history of the world.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
but
God.
now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation.
Are the Q people going to do the salute?
Has the highest inflation in 50 years, and where the stock market finished the worst first half of the year since 1872. Likewise, we are...
Wasn't it 1972? 1872? That doesn't sound right. Can anybody fact check that?
Longer energy
1872.
Dominant, as we just were 2 very short years ago. We are a nation that is begging...
Yeah, there's people doing the finger thing.
And many other countries for oil. Please, please, please help us, says Joe Biden.
Look at the people with the finger. Look at this.
Right under our feet than any other country. We are a nation that is consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal, yet everyone...
There's been no Green New Deal passed.
...to our destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all-electric cars, even though they can't go far, cost too much. And
the reason we know the country is in a downfall is they're recommending electric vehicles, the clear sign of the decline of America.
Right under our feet in the United States, but not available anywhere in China. We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States, just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And we are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people.
This is crazy, crazy fascist nonsense.
Never have happened with me as your commander-in-chief. And for 4 long years, it didn't happen. And China with Taiwan is next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've got a federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, where Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation when they knew it wasn't, and a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a president who is
The fact that there are tens of millions in this country that aren't obviously disgusted by this tells us how bad things have gotten.
In World War III. We are a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is all you get, and they are the enemy of the people. Where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant like never before, where the economy has been collapsing, where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We are a nation that is allowing
I'm about to cry too, but for different reasons, I think.
China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival our own. And just 2 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in check. They weren't going to do a thing against us, and everyone knows it. And perhaps most importantly, we are a nation that is no longer respected or listened to around the world. We are a nation that in many ways...
He's really focused in on that teleprompter, huh?
Nation that is hostile to liberty, freedom, and faith. We are a nation whose economy is floundering, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the bottom of every single list. We are a nation whose once revered airports are dirty and a crowded mess, where you sit and wait for hours and then are notified that the plane won't leave.
Does Trump know that in commercial aviation, everybody's always waiting for hours? Like, that's kind of, they tell you, show up and wait for hours, please. You're required to wait for hours.
Qualified air traffic controllers, and they don't know what they're doing. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, willpower, and strength. We are a nation that has lost its way. But we are not going to let this continue. 2 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again.
Right.
It was hard-working patriots like you who built this country, and it is hard-working patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will stand up to the radical left lunatics and the rhinos, and we will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot...
It's like low-rent fascism is basically the way I would describe it.
Not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever, ever, ever back down. As long as we are confident and united, the tyrants we are fighting do not stand a chance, because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. My fellow...
You would think, based on how much this was ridiculed, someone would have gone to him and said, "Sir, let's skip the music."
For our country again. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious American nation. So with the help of everyone here today and citizens all across our land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again.
Super strong subscription dump there from S-Prez.
Safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you very much, North Carolina. Thank you.
Well, there he goes. Really depressing. I mean, just a low-rent fascism appealing to the lowest common denominator. Truly no other way to say it. Truly no other way to say it. I'm glad you joined me, even if it was extraordinarily disturbing. We have many streams coming up next week. Oh God, he's doing it again. Oh my goodness, he's sick. On Wednesday, the January 6th committee hearing. On Friday, Beto O'Rourke versus Greg Abbott debate, assuming it has not been canceled or will not be canceled. And October 1st, the next Trump rally. Make sure you don't miss any of it, my friends, any of it. Make sure you are subscribed for free on our YouTube channel, where we are approaching 1.5 million subscriptions. If we get there by October 4th, the day of Yom Kippur, I will fast. I will actually do the Yom Kippur fast, which I have not ever done before. We also have launched the Pacman Finance channel, and I would love for you to check that out as well. A beautiful new channel, spiffy, clean, and everything else you would hope for from a new channel. Folks, this was really, 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 really bad and scary. And again, Trump alone wouldn't be that scary. What's scary is all these people who love this crap and think it's great when it's just low-rent fascism. Low-rent fascism. Truly horrible. So there goes Donald Trump. I appreciate everybody that joined me, even if we are seeing the decline of American culture and thinking. We'll see everybody very soon. All right. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Stay safe out there.